Hey everybody, good evening and welcome back to Ready Steady Play. How's it going out there? Everyone alright? Doing okay? Having a nice Tuesday evening? I hope you are and that you're ready to spice up your week with a bit of adventure. Because I'm here today to play the prequel chapter of Soul Raiders. This is a prototype game that's live on Kickstarter at the moment. You can see it's all set up here, but actually there's not really a whole lot yet to go because it is a adventure game, and it is revealed through these cards up here and these decks over here. And so what we're doing is a storytelling adventure game that purports to have a lot more gameplay to it than your average storytelling narrative driven game. I've read through the rule book that they sent me, which is marked here with work in progress. And yeah, they sent me this prototype. They just kind of reached out to me at random out of the blue, and they were like, hey, do you want to play this? And I was like, okay. And then I promised nothing. So, hey Eddie, thanks for joining me in chat, buddy. So we've got no remit. I've not been paid anything. I'm just playing it to see if it's any good. And if I like it, maybe I'll back it on Kickstarter. I don't know. We can have a look actually at the Kickstarter. I think I have it here somewhere. That's not the Kickstarter. Where did it go? That's just a blue screen. Come on, buddy. It's already off to a good start. Here we go. So, I was, it's really funny actually, because it's designed by Marc-Andre, and I was like, oh yeah, Marc-Andre, the Splendor guy. Who knows the Splendor guy? Like, I know Splendor. Splendor's everywhere. That was super popular. And then they did Marvel Splendor. And so I looked him up to see what else he'd designed. And it turns out he's only got 2 other games to his name, actually. Which I was surprised by, because for some reason in my head he was sort of like quite a prolific designer. But clearly that's not the case. He's not a newcomer, but also he's only got these 3 published games and Soul Raiders, as far as I can tell, according to his BGG credits. He did design a game called Majesty for Queen and Kingdom, I think is the subtitle. I just call it Majesty, which I actually have. And I played it a long, long time ago, and quite enjoyed when I played it. I'd like to play it again. He also designed a game called Barony, which I haven't played, but I looked at briefly on BGG, and it looks like something I'd enjoy. But all I can tell is it's got a module board, and it's some kind of area control thing. So, nothing like Soul Raiders, but this is being run by All or Nothing, who I've never heard of, and I looked them up, and they've never published anything. Why is this taking me here? Oh, not All or Nothing. God, I got so confused. One for All is the name of the company. All or Nothing is just the type of Kickstarter. Off to a good start. One for All is the name of the actual company. And yeah, this is their first created Kickstarter. It's also the first game they've ever tried to publish. They're French. I presume he's also a French designer. Because he's got an accent in his name. That's it. That's all I've got to go on. But yeah, so it's sort of I can't help but feel like maybe this is something he's been working on for a while, and he wanted to self-publish. Maybe it's his company or something like that. I don't know. But I'm kind of excited to check it out, because this is exactly the kind of stuff I enjoy. It reminds me, my first sort of glance reminds me a bit of Legacy of Dragonholt, the Terranoth storytelling game. But that was, I think, much more like a narrative-driven thing. This seems to have a lot more emphasis placed on art. And one of the things that was interesting about it was that they've brought artists in from Magic the Gathering. So Magali Villeneuve, I'm going to butcher these names, I'm sorry, Villeneuve, from Magic the Gathering, who are Magic's known for sniping those super good artists, but also Guillermo Tavernier from the Architecturant. I don't know what that is, so I can't speak to that. But the art that I've seen so far in the game has been really gorgeous. So let's hope that holds up throughout. But yeah, so it's 1 to 4 players. I'm going to play 2-handed. I guess that's fine. There's no rules for player counts in the rules I've been given as far as I can tell. But it looks like there's, in the box, in the main game that you'd back here, you get 3 chapters. And each chapter is a 2 to 4 hour session. You sort of get through the chapter, and then there's a pretty straightforward save mechanism. It doesn't look like it's particularly easy to save during the chapter, and that's probably not recommended. So you have to settle in for a bit of a session, but you do the 3 chapters, and then at the end there's some kind of ending. And I think it has, because it talks about replayability somewhere here on the Kickstarter page, and it talks about all the different routes you'll take through the different chapters, and it says that it's got high replayability, which strikes me as you know, a little unusual, because that wouldn't have been my first instinct, but they make a point of it. So I guess there is all these different paths through the game that, yeah, here we go, replay value. Yeah, it's highly replayable with a strong narrative component, which obviously seems counterintuitive. I did finish Sleeping Gods last month, and I thought that would have a lot of replayability because of the amount of unexplored content. I don't know how much of the content in this game you would explore in a single playthrough, so it might be the case that there's a large amount of unexplored content left open. But if the 3 chapters are linked narratively, and it always seems like you'll start up in the same place. I don't know if the outcome of each chapter is going to have a major impact on the next chapter. What I can tell you is that if we look at the game here on the table, what you're going to be given is like these sort of little objectives that you have to complete. And we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to go through this deck, starting with this setup card here. And we're going to get these objectives that we have to complete. And there's going to be like sort of main objectives in gold. If we do those, then we get a victory. But there's also secondary objectives in silver. And if we do those as well, we get the full victory. Or at least the number of these... Well, and hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself a bit. But essentially, if we do all primary and secondary objectives that we need to do, then we'll get like the full victory. If we miss out the secondary objectives, we'll get a full a victory tinged with bitterness, it's called. And then if we don't achieve that by the time certain conditions run out, then we're going to be getting the defeat. And if you're defeated, you have to restart from the beginning of the chapter when you last saved the game. So that's kind of how that functions. What we're playing today is Chapter 0, the prologue, which they've written specially for people to play at this time, so we don't spoil any of the narrative from the actual game. So don't worry, you won't be getting any spoilers. But we are playing as characters from the game. We've got... hey, evening, Layla. Hey, Heggers. How you doing, guys? We've got Adonis here. I turned this camera off. So he's one of our chaps here. Let me just check my cameras. There we go. So I've only got 2 characters in this box anyway, so we're just going to use the 2 that they gave me. It seems like it'd be a bit more fun with 2 anyway. More fun with 2 than 1. It's not a terribly complex game from what I've read in the rulebook, although I do think it is the kind of game where it'll be deceptively tricky to do well at, if that makes sense. So that could be good. You know, I think I'd like that. And we've got Mader here as well. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but never mind. So she's pretty cool. And what we are is we're basically mage knights. They call us soul raiders or warrior mages, but it seems we're heroes that use magic. And we've got this deck made up of cards. We're going to resolve a lot of challenges and combats and things like that in the game with a basically hand management system where we've got to spend these cards to do things, you know, and you've got movement cards in green and combat cards in red, and then there's purple cards, which are magic spells that have all kinds of special effects. And it looks like one of these cards actually lets you turn invisible, and it's once per chapter that you get to use that. And you're going to have miniatures in the final product of the game for the heroes only. There's no miniatures for the enemies, but each miniature has an invisible variant. And it seems to me like there's this whole invisible magic thing, which is quite important to time well during the chapter. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pays off. as we go through this prologue. So I've tried to avoid completely or any spoilers at all. So I haven't looked at any of those cards up there. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to parse the game entertainingly for you guys today. But I didn't want to spoil any of the stuff because, you know, I want to get my my first impressions here on stream, and we can see how this looks. I've been playing a lot of adventure games, you know, which is a loose umbrella term for story-driven narrative fantasy games and also dungeon crawlers. But a lot of these kinds of games recently, so I'm interested to see if this does something different that's going to capture my interest in a way that makes me want to get it. Oh, but before we move on, if we just have a quick look back, oh come on, over here, we can see that we can just check. So the game is £60 or 70 euros for a standard edition. I can't believe this. Never mind. Let's not talk about Brexit. Or 110 euros and 94 pounds for a grimoire edition, which comes with a big fancy magnetic box. So it's not a cheap game, but it's not, you know, you're not paying for buckets of miniatures either. I suspect you're playing for a lot of hidden cards and things like that. So you can see here, there's the fancy box and the standard box. And these cards, these are all the different cards you're going to get. You're going to have quest cards that are actually, they're like sort of missions you pick up over the course of a chapter, and they persist across chapters. So quest cards are kind of like things you're going to have to spend trying to do, or you're going to have to try and do over the course of the game. And potions are just like bits of equipment you can buy. It actually says you can only buy them starting in Chapter 2. But I do seem to have one potion card that actually came with this Kickstarter, which I'll show you in a minute. So I don't know if I'm supposed to have that or not in the prequel. Prologue. Did I put prequel? I think I called this the prequel video. Sorry, I meant prologue. Oh, they did manage to give us miniatures for the magic portals, though. So they are trying to fit in miniatures where they can. I understand how Kickstarter works. Random enemy cards, and yeah, that's fine. There you go. There are all your heroes. And Adonis, apparently, yeah, oh yeah, so the miniatures are the deluxe exclusive stuff. So you'll have standees, I think, like the ones I have, if you're playing with the standard box. But you've got the 4 heroes there that you can play as, and Adonis actually has a spell where he clones himself, which is why he's got purple variants. Or he's got a purple variant and then an invisible clone as well. So, yeah, there you go. There are your 3 chapters. Presumably, I think they're... And, oh yeah, there's a lore book and campaign book you can get as well. I guess those come in the... Do those come in the Grimoire edition? Maybe the campaign book's an add-on. But I imagine it's more story and stuff about this world. But maybe there's a nice little introduction here in the actual rule book to tell us exactly what's going on about who the Soul Raiders are. I don't think so, because I didn't read anything like that. Nope. So let's crack on and see what the beginning of the story actually has to say. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? Miniatures are overrated anyway, Jonathan. Besides, you know, I was gonna say, if you're the kind of person that's upset by the miniatures and the standees in Gloomhaven, you can get the base box with the standees, and then you don't have to worry about the mismatch. Except the enemies in this game are cards, so you're still mismatched. You've got miniatures and cards, or standees and cards. But they could have filled the game full of miniatures. They could have come up with miniatures for all of these randomized enemies that would just have literally no purpose. The miniatures serve almost no function whatsoever. They're only marking which location card your hero is on, so... I mean, insofar as miniatures actually... do you know what? Let's not get into it. Let's play the story. I'm excited. Alright, so, this tells us a little bit about the setup of the game. We're going to start with the exhaustion tracker on level 1, which means 4 cards in hand. And we're going to start with 15 health points here. You might recognize the money I'm using to mark these, you might not. We can zoom in on this board, actually. There we go. So, and we start with the threat level down here on 0, and event cards 1 and 2 here on the board as well. And the way this is going to kind of, the the purpose of this is the threat and the hit points kind of track the length of the game. So the party shares a pool of hit points, and as you take damage over the course of the adventure, this tracker here will move around the board, and every time it pings 30, this moves to the left. And then you get less cards in hand every round, and that's going to become problematic because you're going to be able to do less and less until you reach this, and then you lose the game. And alternatively, the threat meter can also rise up to there, and that will trigger the end of the game as well. You've just created too much of a ruckus, and now you're getting overwhelmed. So that's how the game can end negatively. So we don't want that to happen. I don't know what these event cards do because I haven't seen them yet. They'll be revealed at some point. And as you can see, as threat escalates, everything's going to get harder. So we don't want that to happen if we can help it. And I don't know what our objectives are yet because I haven't seen them here in this deck. So let's find out. So here we go. Here are our victory conditions here. And what we note about... let me sort myself out over here. So what we know about this is that we can see that there's a number of objectives you have to do based on the player count. So, like I was saying, there's the gold objective. You always have to do that to succeed at the chapter. And then you have to complete a number of silver objectives based on player count if you don't want the tinged with bitterness victory. I suppose something of a Pyrrhic victory. So, yep, this is just explaining it. The red star indicates the main goal. Yep, blah, 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 blah. Once heroes have... Oh, doesn't quite fit on my screen here. Once heroes have collected the number of stars shown, then you can read the victory card. In this prologue, there's no partial victory, no tinged with bitterness section. Either you complete the number of goals in time or fail in your quest. Oh my god! It's even harder than I thought. I thought they were going to throw me a nice softball here. This is different from the other chapters in the game where there is a tinged with, bitterness victory condition. When you reach the space marked the end on the exhaustion track and or threat track, the game is over at the end of the round. After the reaction phase, if you haven't completed all your goals by then, read the defeat card aloud. Alright, well we're going to try and win this if we can. Alright. That's fine. We don't need this anymore. We knew all of that already. Okay, we've got an introduction card. Focus, please. Just one more night stands between you and the sanctuary. All around you, your fellow knights suppress tired yawns under the eyes of their watchful masters. You feel your eyelids start to droop. You should try to sleep, but you're too excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Soul Raider Rite. Soul Raider, such a deceptively simple name for everything you will become, the fights you will be called on to lead, all of the magical power you will wield. Those who prowl behind the fragile threshold of the veil know this name as well. When these fragmented souls rend the veil to sow despair among the living, the world remembers it. You are the sworn protectors of this world. Even the most inexperienced among you bear the mark of your battle against the wraiths. With each victory, a few more of these accursed spirits are freed from their eternal torment. One suddenly appears the second you feel yourself finally drifting off. An ephemeral shadow near the edge of the forest. Something seethes within you, pulling you back from the brink of sleep. In the blink of an eye, you're on your feet, preternaturally alert. Is it your adrenaline? The wraith shoots you a challenging look before disappearing into the trees. You feel the weight of your sword in your hand, though you don't recall having drawn it. You set off in pursuit of the creature with bounding strides, but something is amiss. The feeling grows with each step you take. The wraiths you are chasing should be fleeing more quickly. You should be hungry for prey, villages to haunt. He shouldn't be drawing you deeper into this forgotten wood. Come on, camera. You need to read it. This forest. Have you been here before? You don't think so. And yet, the fatigue from your hunt must be slowing you down. The thick trees finally give way, opening onto a crumbling fortress perched on the edge of an abyss. Cautiously, you approach through the hills overlooking the ruins. That's when you see them. Creatures that have no business leaving the pages of children's fairy tales are wandering freely behind the fortress's walls. Yes, those are goblins you see. But you're no child. You're soon to be a soul raider. Wait for the right moment to move closer. Okay, so we've got some options here. And I think I probably should have drawn a hand of cards at this point already as well. But let's have a look. So, either you climb into the deserted main courtyard, reveal location 1 and place your hero in it, or you go around the fortress to get a closer look at the creatures lurking there. Reveal location 9 and place your hero there. Flip this card over to reveal location 0. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and quickly deal out a hand of 4 cards to each hero. Now, it recommends actually in the rulebook that if you're playing with a group, you actually keep your hands hidden so that will help to avoid alpha gamer type behavior. But we can play with our hands open because I'm just playing on my own anyway. Oh, the combat cards. I shuffled this well. You guys saw. Well, that's fine, because I think we're about to go in a fight anyway. Maybe Adonis just has a ton of fighting cards. These are cards you buy with experience points. So we'll get to have those if we gain some experience points and potentially level up. Okay, we've got a magic spell. Uh-oh, I don't seem to have any movement. A lightning bolt, and 1 movement card. Good. So, here's the fun thing about some of these cards. Let me explain real quick. So this card is marked green, which is why you can't see it here on the green screen. But it's got a +3 on it as well. So this card is a 4 and can be used to overcome challenges with a challenge rating of 4. And I can play it to do that when I want to. However, if I use it for movement, I will also activate the bottom part of the card, which will give me a +3. So it counts as 7 towards movement and 4 on its own. And pretty much everything else is just a sort of more complicated version of that. For example, this combat card from Adonis is 4 + 1 per action card it's played with. So if I were to play out his whole hand with this card, it would be 4 from this card plus 1 for each of these other cards, which is 4. It counts itself. And then also whatever else is going on here. So he's ready to murder something awful. Over here, I've actually got 2 spells as well that I've drawn here with Mater, which I haven't looked at all the details of all the spells. I thought, we can discover them ourselves, but you can always play these just as a 4 card. You don't have to bother with the spell part on the bottom, because some spells are discarded after use, or are not discarded after use. What's the term I'm looking for here? Some spells are once per chapter, and so you want to pick the right moment to use it for the magical element. So this is a lightning bolt, it's an instant effect, and it's going to hit a whole bunch of enemies that are in a fight. So that's pretty cool. There are 3 kinds of spells, actually. Instant, temporary, and permanent. And permanents sort of come into effect for the rest of the chapter, but there's also enemies that can turn off all magic, and they'll just kill all your spells. So again, all of the... And they're like in the random deck as well, so you never know when they're going to show up. So you got to be sort of wily about when you use these things. I've also got a spell here called Enthrall. So this is single use. Once I use it, it'll be done. I'll have to remove it from my deck for the rest of the chapter. So this is a temporary spell, and it says reduce threat by 1. Enemies engaged with you lose their abilities. So this will remain in play, I guess, until it's removed by a magic effect, anti-magic effect, or... It might actually possibly just be until the beginning of the round. I'll have to check the entry in the rulebook. But that's fine. I'm probably not going to use it right now. So we'll put her level up cards off to one side, actually. I don't need them here right now. And I guess his as well. So yeah, this is these are the upgrade cards, and you have to buy them. That's why they've got numbers on them, and they've got multiple uses. They're just more effective. You can see some of them have a little potion symbol on them on the right there. So they're more expensive based on the number. So they come in a numerical order. And you can buy them in any order, but the more... If you skip ahead, you have to pay more. And if you want to use the potions, you need to have the advanced abilities with potions on them. So it's like your character kind of unlocks inventory slots for potions as you go. So I've only been given 1 potion card, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have it, but I can't actually use it until I buy the advanced card with a potion slot on it. They didn't say anything in the rulebook about whether or not I was supposed to just start with these cards. I don't know if I'm expected to have them. I mean, in the rulebook it didn't, because the rulebook is written for the actual game. But there were no notes in the publisher's notes about this special prequel chapter. So I might be going in like underpowered. I don't know, or if I'm being given the cards so I can demonstrate how leveling up works. So hopefully I haven't hamstrung myself, but we'll see. So we got 3 options here. We can climb into the deserted courtyard. We can go around the fortress to get a closer look at the creatures, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. I like the idea of getting some reconnaissance. That seems sensible to me. Or flip this card over and reveal location 0. Or maybe that's what we do anyway. Wait for the right moment to look closer. Well, you tell me, guys. What do you think about this? Let me... Come on, camera. So this is where my lack of preemptive reading of the text comes into play, because... Do you think the intention here is to choose between the first 2 points and then go for the third one as well? Or am I just picking one card? I think I'm just picking one option, right? It just feels odd that the final option doesn't really have me do anything. It just says flip this to reveal location 0. So maybe I reveal location 0, but I also make a choice about the top 2. Either you climb into the deserted courtyard, reveal 1. Because even if we reveal location 0, we may not be able to get there. It doesn't say anything about putting our heroes there, so I think location 0 is probably some location we've spied, but we can't actually get to yet. So let's go with that. That's my interpretation. So here we go. We've got chapter... we can actually zoom in here on the top-down camera, can't we? So here we've got chapter 0, prologue, area 1, or location 0. Wait, this isn't location 0. This is... Oh, location 0 is here. Whoops. Ignore me. There we go. Location 0. That makes sense. So I'm gonna go around the fortress to get a closer look at the creatures lurking. So I'm also gonna reveal location number 9. Okay, so we can go through the numbers at the top here and find location 9 and pull that one out. There we go. So I guess we leave that one there for now. This is the abandoned fortress. Okay, and we've also got this location here, which says there is a passage on the side of the fortress that leads to a locked gate. Nearby a staircase winds its way up to a ruined tower. Now I do remember that I must pick a hero to be the main entrant. We'll pick Adonis. I think I would have chosen him anyway, but I should definitely choose that in advance. And I guess Mater goes with him because I have nowhere else to put her at the moment. And let's see if we can get a better angle on this with the other camera as well. So you guys can actually see these figures. I don't know if that's any better, but... In any case, what we've got going on here is a bunch of location information. So, the main thing, or several things we're noting here, is that locations mostly have 2 sides, and on the back side there's some kind of change or something we want to unlock or be able to do. And this symbol here means that we have to look for some way to flip it over. And we can see already here there's a pick the lock on the grate in the passageway. So there's an action here to do something technical and flip this card over to side B. It's got a symbol there that shows this will change. Here we've got a path that we can follow. 8 movement points are needed to use this path, which will take us to location 1. We've also got a path here. The 6 movement points will take us to location 7. And at the top here, this shows that a monster spawns when we come in here, and this means one monster spawns for each hero. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign a monster to each hero. And actually, I'm going to make a bit of room for that over here. So, actually, it's 1 monster per threat level. So in this case, 2 monsters per hero, because we're still in threat level 0. So we've got... Oh my god. Some kind of mind flare. Alright, so this guy's pretty bad off the bat. but he's got anti-magic. That's what the symbol at the top means. Everybody gets no magic in this area. So probably a good thing to get him out of the way at the start. What we'll do is we'll discard these guys as we defeat them, and then create a discard pile, which will reset as necessary. So I'm doing two monsters per hero here. We've also got Scary Orc. You guys give experience points when we defeat them, so that's pretty good. Unfortunately, also, Adonis is a pretty good fighter, so that's helpful. And then I guess I'll get some from Maida as well, because she's also shown up. We've got a tiny goblin. I believe that top symbol is priority target. That means I have to kill him first. I'll double check real quick. But anyway, there's my priority target. So you can see that we'll have some monsters... priority target. So you can see that we'll have some monsters... assigned to each hero that they're going to have to deal with. These are the ones assigned to Adonis when he entered the area. These are the ones assigned to Maida when she entered the area. And the way... I've just kind of started going with this, but the way it actually works is there is a set order to the turn, which is a preparation phase, which is just like a little sort of cleanup of things. Then there's the action phase, where we spend action cards to do things. You don't always have to spend an action card, like we saw on the prologue sheet at the start. I was able to do some things without even spending any cards. But heroes also just do things in whatever order they want. So like Maida can do a little bit, then we can go to Adonis to do a little bit, then back to Maida, and you can kind of sort of think about what you want to do or do things simultaneously, but you do need to make sure that you are clear about who's doing things first. For example, we should really have said that Adonis was coming into this area first, just in case there were some icons up here that only applied to the first character that came into the location. Or similarly, there could be an icon up here that increases threat, and then the next location has an effect where particularly if the threat were to go up to the next rank, it would be important to know if the threat had gone up before or after someone else did something somewhere else. So, in any case, here's our second monster for Maida. Alright, so he's a guardian. That means she can't run away from him. She's going to have to kill him. Again, this is fine. These guys don't seem too scary. There's also a little yellow symbol here with an eyeball, which is telling me at the end of the round, if I'm still here and I'm not invisible, if I'm still here and I can be seen, then the threat level is going to increase, and we don't want that. So let's try to avoid that if possible. Okay, so I mean, I think I'll just start with Adonis murdering people. I would like to try and save some cards if I can. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I like the idea of picking the lock on the grate to get into a passageway, because then I could sneak into the fortress. That seems like a better idea than running around outside. Maybe this is what they're talking about with branching options. So let's have a think here. We're going to need a test of 5 to do that. None of my team are good at it. So you can see we've got some little bonuses here on the hero boards to show the kind of stuff they're good at. So Adonis is good at looking at his perception and strength. And Maida is good at talking, charisma type stuff, and perception as well. This is a finesse check. You can't really see, I'm afraid, guys. Maybe it's better on this camera. But it's like little gears turning. So I'll need a 5 if I'm going to get in there. Which is doable. So if I want to do the scroll, check. Any action within the scroll can be performed by any hero at any time, provided they're not in combat. And what'll happen is if I do that, I'll immediately flip it over to side B, and all the monsters will remain engaged with who they're engaged with, and everything will remain the same, except that whatever symbols up here, if there's any new symbols up here, they'll have to be applied as well, I think. So I suppose that could be problematic. Let me check this priority target thing on the gobbo there, because I need to make sure that... do I have to kill him first? I think so. I think I have to kill him first. Yeah, he's a priority target. He's a guardian. That's fine. And what we know is... yeah, so when we flip it, we apply the... Yeah. We'll flip it, and then we'll apply any blue effects on the other side. Hopefully they won't be too bad. I don't know if we'll attract more monsters trying to pick open the grate in the passageway there. But I think... maybe what I'll do, just in case more monsters show up... although, I was thinking it would be quite good for Adonis to do it. Trust him to get the hard monsters. That's a kind of a bummer. He's going to have to do 2 separate combat actions to kill this orc. Let me show you how combat works first with Maida, actually. So, we've got to kill these 2 guys. They're not very tough. They've got a 2 and a 3. These are kind of like their hit points. So, the number of shields it means kind of 2 things. It means their damage and their wounds. So, they'll deal damage equal to the number of wounds they have left. Now, in this case, they both have 1 wound and deal 1 damage. But then each of their shields also sort of has a defensive value which you have to overcome to deal a wound. So, in this case, if I play, for example, this combat card, this actually accrues 6 points of combat damage, and I can actually split that between them as I like and just kill them both. I have to kill this one first because it's got priority target on it, and then I can kill that one as well. I could also use this lightning bolt, although actually I think it's probably no. Inflict 1 wound on all enemies with a combat value of 3 or less at this location. Unfortunately, that's not really going to do anything to help Adonis, as all of his enemies have a combat value that's higher than that. We got 5 and 4 and 6, so yeah, I'll tell you what, let's just give up this one and kill both of these guys. So that goes into my discard pile there, and we can just blat both of these enemies straight away, and they go into a discard pile. Get out of here. And now Maider's out of combat. She's not actually engaged anymore. So we could give up 2 spells in order to do this level 5 one here. Alternatively, Adonis could actually help with that as well, if he's not engaged in combat. So let's have a look here. Is there a way to get to 11 that's efficient? This is... aha! So this is... well, this is 5, because it's 3 plus 2. And this one is 6, 7, 8. Well, this is 8, actually. I feel like this is overkill. Here we go. That's actually a better combat card. So if we use this one, it's plus 1 per action card, which is 2. So that's 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. So 11 is good because it means that we can put out a shield here for 5. But I can't go on and deal this second shield's worth of damage here. And that's because basically we can't do 2 wounds to a single creature in a single combat action. So if I want to kill this guy, I'm going to have to do another combat action. But for now, I can take the 6 leftover damage and deal it to this guy here. So he's dead. And I gain 1 heroic point here, which I can put on my board here. So that's like experience points. We can spend 2 of those to draw a card, or more than 2 to buy a heroic card and actually add it to our hand. And with that one, can we... I have to check how much these actually cost. I think we can buy the 1 cost card pretty quickly, which is good. So they're done. Now, am I going to finish this guy off? I don't really want to use a whole nother card on it, but I could just discard this one and kill him. Actually, either of these would do. They're both going to do 6 anyway. I'll tell you what. Let's let Mater open up the gate. We'll give up these 2, for 6. So I'll open the lock on the passageway and see what happens. If a bunch more enemies show up, then at least Adonis still has some combat cards he can use to help out. Although I suspect that what's actually going to happen is a bunch more enemies will show up and engage Mater. But now we're going to flip this over to side B. Okay, so what we don't have is any blue entrant effects here. And actually, we've gotten rid of the alert symbol down here as well. So now it's just more monsters are going to show up in the reactions phase. So rather than stay here and get overwhelmed by monsters, I think we're encouraged to move on. Although, to be fair, just running into the next thing seems a bit risque. If we have a look over here, you can see that there's 2 different kinds of arrows. The green ones mean that enemies won't follow you unless they have the pursuit trait, whereas this beige one here means that they will follow me. So what I'm thinking is I might just run in there with Maida and see what happens, and then Adonis can pursue if it makes sense for him to do that. Maida's only got 1 card left. And although I could keep it, I'm disinclined to stay here because a bunch more enemies are going to show up. I'm kind of hoping by sneaking in here, maybe I will have avoided some of the penalties of the next section, which is Area 5B. It's only 3 movement to go in as well, but I've got 7, so it's fine. So let's. Maida's going to run into the door she's just opened, and we'll see what happens when we go to Area 5B. Uh-oh. A sinister contraption made of planks and rusty spikes bangs from the wall. Hangs from the wall. Hangs. That doesn't look like bangs, doesn't it? Hangs from the wall. Luckily, picking the lock on the grate disabled the trap. That's lucky indeed, because that looks awful. What's also lucky is there's no entrance cost here. So I think this is actually a pretty good spot to just kind of hang out for the end of the round. So with Mater there, and hanging out in the trap room, let's what we can do, because it's only 3 cost movement, so it doesn't really matter which way about this I go, but Adonis can give up a card to kill this orc, or whatever it is, hobgoblin, troll, scary enemy, and he has this rage ability actually, which doubles all the damage of enemies you're engaged with, which is awful. So he's scary pants. But don't worry, we're basically soul raiders. I think the exam's tomorrow, so, you know, I'm not worried for us. Get 1 more experience point. My final card, 4, moves Adonis in here as well. And that is the end of the first round of the game. We're hanging out here in the trap room. And we're going to see what happens next. There is a reactions phase now, which I'm just going to use the rulebook to guide myself through to make sure I do it correctly 100% for you guys. But I also want to check the cost, actually, of purchasing an improvement card for Adonis. I might buy that next turn, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it at any point on your turn. But yeah, so we lose... So you take stress, which is this symbol here, and so you just take every time there's a reactions phase. So you're working against a ticking clock all the time. Think of it a bit like burning your cards in Gloomhaven or something like that. So this is going to be 2 because we're here on this first level. So 2 stress means we lose 2 hit points. So we're slowly ticking down towards a worse situation. Well, less cards in hand and eventual defeat. There's also these slots down here are all for conditions that don't really seem to exist in this version of the game. I do have one poison token, so I presume that there is some way for poison to come out. I've got a poison token here, so you'd slot these little stat tokens in here. And there's all kinds of ones in the rulebook. They talk about fear, broken bones, poison, stuff like that. But and you'll lose hit points at this time in the round based on all those tokens. But this is the only one that came with the prototype, so I'm hoping that I won't have to deal with too much of that. Sounds scary. And then enemies would attack. So if I was still in combat with any of those enemies you'd seen, I would take damage equal to the number of shields that were visible. So, for example, when I dealt one wound to that big nasty hobgoblin guy, I actually reduced as well the amount of damage I would take at this stage of the game. However, because I've killed all the enemies, there's nothing left to fight me. Also, if you're invisible, you can actually avoid this damage because they can't hit you unless they have see invisibility. Smell. It's an enemy trait called smell, which lets them sniff you out. Yep, and then there might be these location reaction symbols as well. So what we're looking now, after doing enemy reactions, is to check these location reactions, but we actually don't have any here. Fortunately, we were able to disarm the trap and hide in this trap room, so we've rather successfully snuck into the fort, I feel. But it could all go bad now, any minute. And that's that. And we check for endgame conditions. Have we got a token here? Have we achieved the victory conditions? None of those things are true, so we press on by going back to the preparations phase. And I think the only pertinent part of the preparations phase right now is to actually draw a new hand of cards. There is a system as well where we can save cards between rounds, but I didn't use it. Uh-oh. We've got a lot of running with Adonis this round. Maybe we should go invisible. Replace your miniature by the translucent version. You are elusive and get +2 to each combat action. Also, you can't take any wounds, and you can just kind of move around freely without being attacked. It's great. But it's persistent, so it lasts until some creature turns it off, which is nuts. Yeah, temporary is 1 round, and then like invisible is just the rest of the chapter until some creature turns it off, which is amazing. It seems to me like this invisible mechanic is really important, and I don't know if now's a good time to use it or not. I mean, if I'd used it, initially, it would have been terrible because that guy would have just turned it off immediately. But fortunately, I didn't even have a chance to do that. I've got no combat cards whatsoever. Who shuffled this nonsense? Alright, maybe I can buy an upgrade card with Adonis. How much are they? Give me the price. Show me the price. I would like 1 upgraded card, please. Yes, it's the cost of on the card plus the rest in the stack. So if I want to buy the 1 cost card on the top of his stack here, then I have to pay I have to pay 4. Because it's 1 plus 3. Damn it! I'm gonna have to save up. Alright, well the only thing for me to do is to move on down this corridor. Which I guess is fine because there's not really anything. I mean, I'm worried that I'm going to go and trigger a bunch more enemies and I have no combat cards now. I should have saved some from last time. But then I would have triggered the reactions and the alerts and the threat would have gone up. Maybe I should go invisible. Maybe now is the time to go invisible. Okay. Why not? Let's have some fun. I think Adonis is just going to go invisible and then he's going to go exploring. And we'll see what we can find, and then we can make a decision for Mater based on what he uncovers. So we get to remove his miniature here, and he becomes now invisible Adonis, who is elusive And it gets +2 in combat. And then we need 3 movement to move on. I've got only good movement cards, so I'm just going to give up this 1 card here for movement, which is a total of 4, because it's 2 + 2 per card, which is 1. And we're going to go to find out what location 9 looks like. This is exciting. Do I have a location 9? Oh my god, it's... Wait, no, I've already got location 9. Oh my god, is that the door I came in through? Is this just an empty room? So the only actual use to come in here at all was to stop enemies coming back at the end of the last chapter. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. So I guess really all we're doing here is we're going back outside. So we spend 3 to come back outside, but now we're invisible. But I guess are we gonna... Do we summon a monster then? I think we do. Even though we're invisible. That's no fair. I don't want to summon any monsters if I'm invisible. Although I guess they're not all that scary, really. He said, with no combat cards in hand. But if I knew I was going to summon monsters, it might have just been better to wait out there at the end of the last round. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that this door went somewhere else when it literally pointed back to location number 9. There you go. I'm a dumbass. And that's okay. Sometimes we all make mistakes. And, you know, you just gotta be nice to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. So, I've got to draw a random enemy and assign it to Adonis. Please don't be anti-magic. Swear to God, if this is anti-magic, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, come on. Alright, fine. Well, there you go, guys. That's how invisibility works. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh. It doesn't say remove this from the game, though. Let me check that. I thought for sure invisibility was once per game, but I might be wrong. It just says persistent. Persistent. This card is discarded as soon as it's played. Yeah, as soon as it's played. And then okay, so there's no real reason to hang on to it unless you're sure you're going to run into a magical enemy. Okay, that's fine. So I've been revealed. My invisibility spell did not last very long. Okay. But then am I going to go upstairs or downstairs? And also, this guy sucks. I shall, I think, spend this one then to come back out with Mater as well and see what enemy she draws. Okay, we've got some kind of Guardian Troll again. So that's fine. I could actually give up this card to just kill this Troll and then wander off. So, the question is, I'm thinking up the stairs. Although, do you know what's kind of funny to me actually is that it looks like going downstairs is harder. Like going upstairs is 6 cost and going downstairs is 8. You'd think that going downstairs would be easier. So the question is, up or down? Area 7 or Area 1? What do you think, chat? Wherever I go, actually, I don't think Adonis can kill this thing on his own. I might have to help him out. Yeah. I'm going to have to help him, or else he's not going to be able to leave. Actually, if I help Adonis kill this thing, we have just enough movement for us both to go upstairs. We definitely don't have enough movement to go downstairs. Eddie says go downstairs. Layla says if you're not careful going downstairs and you fall over, you hurt yourself more than if you fall going up the stairs. That's probably true. You're right, Layla. And I'm sorry to hear you've got experience with that. Layla's like, I'm worried if you go upstairs, you'll go back to the start. Well, I think we're going to uncover a new area no matter which way we go, because we haven't seen Area 1 or Area 7 yet. I wonder if there's actually useful information on the picture from the opening thing here. I'm just having a look here to see if there's any useful information. Where am I in relation to this? I can't tell. So my inclination actually is everyone wants me to go downstairs, but I don't actually have enough movement unless Adonis just stays here fighting things, which is actually fine. Given now that I've sort of disabled the alarm, I'm less worried about that happening. But if Mater goes downstairs, she won't be able to do anything else. Whereas if she helps Adonis kill the thing, they can both go upstairs together. Yeah, upstairs might just be backtracking. What if I just spend the entire game running around Area 9? Okay, let's, Adonis is going to have to deal... Well, the thing is actually, I think we can just run away from this monster. I think we can just flee from it. Yeah, don't the green arrows mean we can just flee? Didn't I say that? I'm sure I said that. Right, yes, we can run away. But the difficulty goes up by 1, which means it's actually 9 instead of 8. So that's fine. So we can spend all of our movement to go downstairs. So we're going to do that, because that's what you guys wanted. So this is your fault now if I fall down the stairs, and it's awful. Let's go first with Mater. So she gets 7 from this card, 6 from this card. That's 13. More than 9 to go downstairs to area number 1. Okay, you ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Well, there's no entry cost. There's a reaction cost of a monster showing up, but that's fine. So I guess we came from these stairs. Oh, you guys can't really see that. Sorry. Let me come in here actually. So I guess we came from these stairs here because they lead back to area number 9. There's going to be a monster showing up at the end of the round, but I think that's fine. We can probably deal with that. There's a perception tick here. Take a quick glance through the door on the left, which will, if we do that, it's 3 cost perception, but will reveal story card number 1. If any hero, whether or not they are present in this location, has story 15, flip this to side B. Well, we don't have 15, and that might not be a good thing either. That could be a bad thing. So, this seems fine. It didn't spawn anything when we went in here, so you made the right choice, chat. Well done. I approve. So this is 6, because it's got ×2 on it if it's used for movement, and this is 4 because, well, it's actually 6 because it's 2 plus 2 for this card plus 2 for this card. So that's 6 and 6, so that's 12, more than the 9 we need to run downstairs. And this guy, I think he goes back into the deck, but he might just go be discarded. There's something... if there are no heroes, the random enemies are discarded. Okay. Off you go. So that was... I didn't get the experience point, though. If I'd stayed and killed him, I could have almost been leveling up. But that's fine. So we're all out of cards. So it's the end of the round. So we're going to take the stress again, which is fine. I love this. You can tell which icons I'm probably not going to have to use in this Kickstarter preview because they've got these work in progress symbols. It's like, yeah, I probably don't have to worry about that. Okay. So we're just doing another reactions phase. So stress is 2 still. That's good. And then we go straight to location reactions. So we're going to spawn an enemy for each hero. Actually, I don't know. Do we? Let me check what that means, because there's not the every hero symbol on it. It's just on its own, so it might not actually be one for each hero. Sorry about this, guys. Just want to make sure I get it right. Random enemies and scripted. After revealing the enemies... Oh, you can... After revealing the enemies that have been drawn... I haven't drawn any enemies. Oh, you instinctively draw enemies equal to the threat value. Oh yeah, I probably should have had more enemies up here, actually. I forgot. It's not 1 per hero, it's 2 per hero. But each enemy would have added +1 to the movement value here. And I think I had something like 13 and 12, which more than exceeded the number to escape the enemies I would have drawn. So that's fine. So now we're going to draw 2 enemies per hero here, which we can actually distribute the 4 enemies as we like amongst the heroes. So one of the heroes can take on all 4 if we want. So we've got some kind of horrible blue monster. I think that ability is Pursuit. I think that... Oh, you can't really see him very well from there. I think this means that he'll follow me no matter where I go. So I can't run away from him like I have been. You know, which is a shame because that's a useful tactic. I've got another one of these guardian orc things. Purple orc dudes with a whip and an Uruk-hai sword. Threat goes up by 1. Boop. And no more than it has to. And a little goblin. Easy enemies. We already killed all the hard ones. It's fine. I'm going to give them all to somebody. And I think I'm going to give them all to Adonis, just because he was very capable in combat at the start, although I might have got through all his combat cards. Maybe now Maid is going to get all the combat cards. But she drew her lightning card, and I don't know if he has one, but he hasn't drawn a lightning card yet. And lightning is like, hit them all. So, maybe we'll get a lightning card. Anyway, that's the end of the... they don't attack because they came in as a location reaction. So I think that's the end of that. That phase of the game, and now we're moving back onto the start, yeah. Of the round, which is to say the preparations phase. And I don't have anything to do in the preparations phase. I'm just I'm just convinced that I might be missing something. But I don't think so. And I'm excited to draw some, yeah. Temporary spells, yep, that's fine. Draw up to the action cards and shuffle if necessary. That's it. So here we go. 1. Teleport. Move to any revealed location of your choice. Enemies do not follow you. That's cool. Lightning bolt. I did it. I got the lightning bolt. I knew it. It's like precognition. Inflict 1 wound on all enemies with a combat value of 3 or less in this location. The Wraith's a 4. The jerk. We've got a movement card and a transfer card. What the hell? Switch places with another hero, both locations and engaged enemies. This swap does not trigger location effects. Oh, cool. There's like... It's like, you do not need the other hero's permission to do this. That could be funny. Alright, what else we got here? We've got movement 2, combat 2, combat 3, and a combat 4 as well. So Maida's got all the combats this round. But that's fine. Do you know, I think what I'm going to do, actually, is peek through the door on the left using this special action. She can do that because she's not engaged with any monsters. She's free to do what she wants. Adonis is fighting them all. So that's fine. So I think what we'll do, and because we've got +1 as well... Well, actually, do you know what? Adonis can't help her. Damn it. This card's worth 3 + 1 per anyway. This card's worth 6. This card's worth 4 on its own. With this card, it's 4, 8. It's like 12? 12. Does that kill them all? That more than kills them all. Or we can use Lightning Bolt to inflict 1 wound on each enemy at the location. Do we also get to have this 3? I don't think it matters, because I couldn't even use that for anything anyway. Yeah. Interesting magics. I'm thinking he's kind of got a better hand here to deal with the test, actually, this round. So yeah, maybe I just give up these 2 combat cards here, because if I combo them, they're worth 12. And then she just murders everything at the scene, which seems good to me. We kill him first, and then we kill the other 2. It doesn't matter. Everyone's dead. Good job, Mater. The miniatures, actually, I think they look pretty cool. I like these kinds of dramatic poses, and the design on them seem neat. Obviously, I can't really tell because there's... I mean, you can kind of tell, though. But the standees are pretty good, too. Because now what we can do with Adonis here is we can actually just give up this... we can give up either of these 2 cards, actually. To... Let's give up Transfer, I think. To do the test here. Because it's a 3, but he gets +3 to his perception tests because he's really good at looking at things. And he's just going to use his key now. What do your Soul Raider eyes see? I see... These are backwards. Why are they backwards? You hear 2 high-pitched voices arguing about something. Oh, I did a perception test to hear things. You hear 2 high-pitched voices arguing about something, followed by the sound of a struggle. The thief seems to have noticed your presence because he bounds out of your line of sight. You beat a hasty retreat to plan your next move. Keep this card until the end of the game. Well, Adonis, you could have been a bit more subtle about that, couldn't you, buddy? So what do you guys... Well, we need 4 movement to go in this door and 3 movement to go in that door. But I guess there was some kind of struggle going on here, so maybe there'll be a bit... Maybe we are... Yeah, Heggers, those words are going to come back to haunt me. We already killed the hard ones, right? They're going to come back to haunt me before the end of this stream. I'm sure of it. So... I think let's just play the 4 movement and go into the door, location number 2. I think we just do it. Let's go find out what that thief was stealing. Maybe something for me to have. Something nice for me to have? Ooh. If any hero, whether or not they are present in this location, has card number 1, flip this to the B side. Uh-oh. I got ambushed! You guys! Because I poked my head in! So, here's how this works. Let me just get a better look on this screen for you guys. So here's the deal, okay? We got a monster here. Random monster's going to appear. And then we got a knife here that says visible. So interestingly, I could have taken a cue. Like, I didn't have the cards in hand to deal with this, but I could have taken a cue from the fact the thief had spotted me when I said, Adonis, you silly Billy, and gone invisible. And then if I'd come in here, I wouldn't be ambushed. But because I didn't, I am being ambushed. And so I'll show you how that works. I'm going to draw 2 monsters because we're at threat level 2, and then they're immediately going to attack, and I'm just going to take damage because that's how life is. So we've got another one of our little gobbos and a ghost, so that's 2 shields, so 2 damage. And damn it, ghost, with your stupid 4 hit points. So this is, interestingly, this is not once, this is an entry fee, but it's not once per hero. So I don't have to pay it again when Mater comes in. So, because it's not got the once per hero symbol on it. So I think, and you know, the game is like, it's very careful to note, by the way, that even though I'm laying these out like this, they're not always direct. Like this is how you get over here, and I actually went through there, and I've put the card out over here, and if I want to get back to this card, I have to go back up these stairs. So I guess it's very important to pay attention to these numbers to know where you're going. But yeah, I guess we're just wandering around an empty fort, basically. And yeah, so I think Mater gives up this card to move in as well. And the reason I like this is because there's no location reactions down here, which means that, you know, I'm not going to have to worry about anything appearing at the end of the round if I take care of these monsters. I'm not going to have to worry about taking any more damage. So I'm going to give up this card here, which gets me 5 combat damage here, because it's 3 + 1 per enemy. Those were Mighty Soul Raiders, damn it. And this one's killed. We'll get rid of the ghosty. And then I guess we just blast the goblin with this lightning bolt. I can actually use it for the bottom part or the top part. It doesn't matter. They both kill it. And it's just, it says inflict 1 wound on all enemies with a combat value of 3 or less in this location. It doesn't say whether it's an instant. I assume it's an instant. I also don't know if I get the effect and the number. I think I do. But I would have to check that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because so far it's never been useful to have the number and the bottom part. But let's go ahead and use that to kill our goblin friend here. And then we've got 1 card left, which is Teleport. So I might just actually reserve that. I don't know if it's actually really all that useful, but it could be useful next time. So now we'll go into the reactions phase. Once again, there's no monsters that I'm engaged with. There's no anything really other than the stress of being in this stressful situation, wearing me down. So we are running out of time, but we get to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still get to draw 4 cards. And we've got a nice mix of combat and movement. Well, not Mater, right? Who shuffled these? This is terrible. I gave these a really good shuffle. Okay. Oh, I drew too many. Hang on. What was the last one I drew? There we go. Forgot I had teleport prepared. Or reserved. You can reserve up to 3 per round. Although, I don't know, given the time and the stress sort of limit, I feel like I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, that's my doorbell. Hang on. I'll be right back, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's find out what, It's... Eddie, it was the card shuffling police. You did not set these decks up correctly. I'm sorry, I tried. I didn't want this. Nobody wanted this. Okay, what are we doing? Right, we've got one place to explore from here, so we might as well explore it. It's also only 2. Location 8, I haven't been there. So, I guess Adonis will go in first, on account of the fact that he's got actual movement. Although I suppose if, I don't know if I should be going faster, you know, or if I should be going this carefully. It's hard to tell. Maybe we go in with, maybe we go in with Mater first. Sure, enemies will jump out at me and then we can get him. And then he can teleport in to get after her if he needs to. And then he'll still have loads of movement for exploring more stuff. Okay. Yes, let's play this one out. To fall for Mater to go exploring into location 8. Oh, hello. Oops. All right. Wah! The staircase leads to the bottom of a deep pit with sculpted masonry walls. This edifice, abandoned 1,000 years ago, is unlike anything you have seen. An unseen edifice. Okay, it's locked. Also, have I understood this correctly? If I'm still here at the end of the round, do 12 enemies spawn? Is that what that is? I have to look up what that means. 12 enemies is way too many enemies. But maybe this feels like the right direction, though. And I'll tell you why, because... Oh, and we can kind of get back to 1 from here as well. You can go back up here to get to 1. You can go back in there to get to 2, which is here. Or you can go down here. I guess we need to press on, though, because actually... if I go back, I'm going to get ambushed by monsters again. Remember that ambush thingy? Unless someone can turn invisible. Are these off the camera now? Great. Yeah, I don't want to get ambushed by a monster again, basically. So... In any case, Maida comes in here, and because she comes in here, she's going to fight 2 monsters. Which is fine. Threat level is still very low. And it's another goblin and orc thing. We need 10 movement if we're going to get out of here. Which I don't have. I actually don't have 10 movement. I've only got 10 movement if she doesn't attack either of them. So. Does anyone have 10 movement? Adonis has 11. So, here's what I think's going to happen. I'm going to teleport Adonis to Mater's location, okay? The thing is, these 12 enemies are going to spawn, but we can quite reasonably get away from them if we need to, because following either of these green arrows means they won't pursue me. So if I teleport in here, and then I go down there, I'm going to read chapter 13, find out what that is, then we kill these two guys, a bunch of enemies will spawn, and then we'll run away upstairs, and it'll be fine. Or something else will happen. Who knows? So here's 3, 6 from the bonus on the card. And then 5 here. So that's 11, which is just enough to reveal story card 13. You found it! The lost treasure! Have a free Kickstarter pledge. As you cautiously make your way down the stairs toward the bottom of the pit, you hear the sounds of heavy footsteps and a clash of metal. You immediately turn on your heels as a horde of creatures climb up from the depths and start to run in your direction. Reveal event number 1 and play it immediately. Gain 2 experience points and flip card 8 over to the B-side. God, Adonis, stop doing everything. Hey, this is a little... Look! We did it, we got a little star! That's the one of the 2 things we need. So we've got a star. So now we actually need to figure out what the other thing is. But the good news is that we got 2 more of these guys. And we could purchase a level up if we so desired. But for now, this is going to flip over to the other side. Blah! Okay, it says, warlike cries and battle songs reverberate against the walls of the glorious ruin as a dark sea of creatures rises out of the pit. Spawn 2 enemies. I mean, that's fine, though. Can I assign them to whoever I want, or do I have to assign them to Adonis? And also, if we go back up here now, we go to 1B. So we'd actually flip this over to the B side. Which is interesting, because it's not on the B side. I don't have event 15, I have event 13. Oh, I have to reveal this, though. What is this? I have to, it said reveal this, and then I didn't. So. Event number 1. Is this just spawn a bunch of enemies, or is this just in addition to everything else? Is everything just harder now? Does this mean every time I see these symbols, in addition to what I would normally spawn, I spawn a hell of a lot more enemies? Is that what this is saying? Because I don't like that. That's not what I like. That's the opposite of what I like. So that means instead of spawning 2 enemies, I'm spawning 5. That seems like a lot. You know? That seems like a lot of baddies. I'm only 2 people. I mean, I am Soul Raiders, but not... I'm Padawans. Padawan Soul Raiders. They are applied as soon as they are revealed. Okay. But I don't really know how else to implement this, so... Oh, those are scripted enemies. Okay, so that was actually scripted enemy number 12, not 12 enemies. Okay, there's a deck of these guys up here. They're special scripted enemies. So that would have been scripted enemy number 12. But I guess that's not happening anymore. So now instead we're going to do this. And I guess this is not... I think this is just whenever you would spawn enemies, spawn that many more. Oh, I wish I'd kept my lightning bolt. Yeah, they apply throughout the rest of the chapter, so... Yeah, I think that's the implication. So I'm going to spawn 5 enemies now, because I'm going to do 2 for the threat level, plus 3 for the event card. And I think I can assign these to whoever I want, which could be really important. because Mater still has a lot of combat power. So even though it was dumbass Adonis who managed to trigger the event as he stumbles his way around the castle, just making a dog's dinner of everything. So thanks for that, Adonis. That's a good job, isn't it? You're doing well, my friend. Just triggering enemies and causing me. Yeah. Yeah, you can assign them to whoever you choose. So pretty much, I think I've probably been doing that a little incorrectly by assigning them to heroes as they enter areas. It's like heroes trigger things, but they don't necessarily have to deal with them. You can assign them to anyone at the location. So I think we're probably going to just assign all of these to Mater, although I actually think we're also allowed to look at them first. So what do we got? We've got another orc with a whip, a threat increase, priority goblin, ghosty man, and priority goblin. Okay, this is not even an issue. Give them all to Mater. And then Mater, use all of your cards and just murder them all. Because you're a soul raider. Okay, so let me let's do some quick math. Basically, the way combat works in this game is that when enemies show up, you can defeat them if you're good at math, mental arithmetic specifically. So, for example, I've already calculated that I need 20 to beat these guys. So, therefore, I just need to now do some combat math for my cards. So I've got 2 that are worth 6 here, which is 12, and 3, which is 15, plus 1 per enemy, which is another 6. So much good math, but yeah, so that's fine. In fact, do I even need to play these other cards? What is that? That's 9 on its own. And that's 6, so that's 15. Yeah, so we'll just play all of these cards then. Screw it. We'll play them all. And we get 21. Which is just enough. I knew that. I knew that. So they're all dead. That's no thing. In fact, the numbers, they tripped over themselves. Because you can see from this card that the very number of enemies there, the sheer volume of them, was their undoing. Okay, but let's also not wait here. I think with Adonis, I'm just going to hang on to this card in case I need to do some fighting. Some enemies are going to show up at the end of this round, but at least they're not going to attack me. And then I'm probably going to escape back up here to the prologue area, because I can flip this over to the B-side by going up here, which is good. I think I probably want that on the B-side. I think. Haggers, it's way too early for math, but I'm sorry, this is actually at its core a math game. So, Soul Raiders, a mathematical, narrative, story-driven adventure game. So, you've got to do math. But only addition and subtraction. No other math, except occasionally multiplication. And if you don't like math, you can play Heroes Legacy of Dragonhold, because that's not got math in it. No meaningful math, anyway. Right, so it's the end of the round. Stress phase, I lose 2 of these, because I'm stressed out. And then we're going to get 5 more enemies. No, 3 enemies appearing. 2 plus 1. So let's have a look and see what we got. 1 Goblin, Threat, and Orc. That's fine. So threat goes up again. Still in the comfort zone. Getting worse soon, though. I also don't like how close I am to losing my hand size. So we should probably pick up the pace a bit. I'll assign these to... Oh, I could have bought Adonis's level up card. Maybe I'll do it next time. We'll assign these to Adonis because he's got that combat card in prep here. Yep, that's the end of the reaction phase. So we're going to go back to the preparation phase. End of the reaction phase, back to the preparation phase. Draw a bunch of new cards. That one comes out. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's murdering now. But I do need 8 movement, so I'm going to have to think about that. And Mater here. Arcane Healing. Oh, tell me about that. Invisibility. Nice. Instant heal 10 hit points and remove all fracture tokens from your healing board. Okay, we want to do that because that'll buy us a bunch more time. That's great. So I think actually... Okay, let me have a look here. This is 3, 4, 5 on its own. Alright, here's my plan. I'm going to heal us. I'm going to go invincible. And then I'm going to use these 2 cards to wander over to Area 8. But it's currently on a 10 level difficulty. So let's have Adonis murder these things first. I mean, he doesn't really... All of these cards just murder them both. Let's use this one. It's just 3 plus 2, and it just murders them. These guys are nothing. You ain't anything, you non-enemies. I'm a Soul Raider, damn it. Alright, so they're dead. So I'm going to use Arcane Healing to just gain 10 health. Now, this is an interesting thing as well, because, like I said, you've got this tick-over point here, where you go back up to 30, but you lose 1 exhaustion level, which is bad, because now you only get to draw 3 cards per round, and you get just do less stuff. More easy to get overwhelmed. And then you start going back around again. The next time you go around, you'll tick down here, so you don't want that to happen either. But one of the things that you should note is that if you drop below 30, say to 25, and then you heal 10, you only go back up to 30. So you can't get back up here. You'll just cap out at 30 no matter what. So it means you're going to drop less quickly again, but it's still not ideal. So the fact that I'm here on 5 and I get to have 10 back is really good, because it means that I've not yet lost my exhaustion point. So that's going well. And so that's, is that removed from the game? No, it's not. Oh, it is. It's single use. It literally says single use on it. Did his invisibility say single use? Did I go crazy with that? Yeah, it did. It did say single use. I don't know how I missed it. I was looking at it in the actual card text. So this actually does say single use on it, and I just totally discarded it. So that was bad. I mistimed this horribly, and it's gone from the chapter. I can't have it anymore. But that's fine. I'm going to use her invisibility, which is now also gone from the chapter, so that we can go back up and explore the 1B area while we're safely invisible and see what happens there. So come on, invisible Mater. So she's going along here. I need 8 points of movement. I've got 5 here, 3 plus 1 for the card. Oh, per movement card, though. Yeah, 5. And then plus 3 from the combat card. So that's 8 in total, right? So I get 3 off of the combat card. And 3 plus 2 per movement card. Yep, okay. Thought I'd done my math wrong. Math games are hard. Oh, I also have to give up Arcane Healing. That's done as well for the chapter. Yeah, I was thinking like it'd be pretty crazy if you got to hang on to that the whole time. Okay, so now we're going to flip this over to B and see what happens on the B side of part 1. Why is this so high up? Okay, so it looks like we've unlocked a new door. That wasn't there before. And actually, I think I flip. I think I bring these guys out when I flip this to the B side. That's not an entry cost. So I think I still have to bring out those 5 guys. Five guys feels like a lot. Also, good burgers. Oh, no, it's the magic guy. Oh, no, it's all the hard ones. Why did the invisibility sucks. The invisibility mechanic sucks. Can't rely on it for anything. Or I'm bad at it. But that can't be right because I'm great at games. So I'm not invisible anymore, so that's the end of that. God damn it. Get these out of here. Okay. This guy sucks, and I hate him. Right, so we've stumbled upon a rather frightening amount of enemies. So let's, I think, spend these 4 experience points we've got on Adonis to buy this card, level up card. And when we buy it, it immediately goes into our hand. So that's nice. And now I've got a bit more stuff we can do here. Yeah, I mean, we've still got a nasty amount of enemies. Luckily we had that arcane heal. Okay. Problem is, I don't want to stay here, but the cost of getting up there kind of sucks. But there's nothing else I could do. I might as well use this. So that's 4, 5, 6. So I only need 2 more. I don't really want to give up any of these cards. That's what sucks. But I'm going to have to give up one, which is going to be my least useful. Oh, that's going to be way more useful. So we give up this one as well. So that's 8 on its own, but it's actually way more than 8 to jump up here. And now we're in a position to help out Mater with the problem she created. She could have just snuck past all the enemies. She could have, if she could have just gone in there and then we could have like teleported to her or something. I don't know. There had to be a better way, but unfortunately, my way is going to turn out to be monster genocide. They were all just hanging out. And then I showed up, acting like a right jerk. So I've got 5 plus 2 per action card. 2 action cards, 9. And I've got 5, so that's 14 plus 1 per enemy, which is 5. So I've got 19. So I'm going to kill this guy because I hate him. So that's 13 left. Give me one of those. I might... Oh, I have to kill this guy because he's a priority target. I have to kill him first, so we'll kill him first. I should try... I can't kill either of them, unfortunately, so that's going to be really painful. But it helps because they've both got rage. That's going to suck. Although it doesn't stack, which is good. But we kill him. We've got 12 left. So I guess we kill him because it doesn't really matter, does it? So what is that? 10, 12 out of our... What did I say? 19? Yes, 19. So we've got 7 left. So unfortunately, we're going to have some change because it's going to cost 5 to put a token out on one of these orcs. So put that down there. And... Or hobgoblins or whatever. They should maybe put a name on these. That would be nice. So I actually know what on earth I'm fighting. I feel like my guys would know what I'm fighting. Do you know what I mean? My soul raiders would know what that is. It's... Don't you recognize me? I'm the baddie from Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, yeah. Right. You just look a bit different now. I'm purple instead of green. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon, everyone. Okay. So, that's done. They're all dead. I'm gonna take 6 damage, which sucks. But that was just a bit of bad luck, I think. And who knows, maybe we're reaching the end. A bunch more enemies are going to show up, but not till later. So, that's the end of that. Yeah, so now it's the end phase, wherein we're going to have our stress first, 1, 2. And then we check our effects, but there are none. And then enemies attack. So in this case, we've got 3 uncovered shields. I'll bring this over here so you guys can get a better look at it. Just to explain how this mechanism works. Sorry, well, you can go here actually. Then at least it's not sideways. So we've got 3 uncovered shields. Because I did 1 wound. I had, yeah, I had 19, didn't I? And 2, 4, that was 12, 17. Yeah, I had 2 left over, which I couldn't do anything with. The thing is, I can't deal both hits in a single combat action, so I could have not combined the cards and then tried to do the 2 hits, but I still think this was a better option anyway. I wouldn't have been able to get up to 19. But I would have still had 10, actually. I would have had 10 and 7 instead, which wouldn't have killed them both. If 10 and 7 had killed them both, it might have been better to play the 2 cards separately. But as it stands, I'm going to take 6 damage. If I'd left 1 alive, I would have had the other 3 enemies, which would have been 8 damage. So this is slightly less bad. But it's 6. It would be 3, but because they have the rage ability, they double the damage. And it doesn't matter how many rage abilities come up, it's just binary, so there we go. Rage is in effect, therefore 6 damage. Ouch. So what are we on? 12. So we're gonna go down to 6. No, we're on 14. So we're gonna go down to 8. Okay. And now the reactions of the area will trigger, which means another 3 enemies coming out. So we've got 2 here, which means we're going to have to shuffle the deck. Ooh. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all, because I'm a Soul Raider. I'm going to be a Soul Raider tomorrow anyway, when I pass the test. And then I will be a full-on Mage Knight. I mean Warrior Mage. And it'll be cool. And fun. I don't actually know what my objective here is. I just need to find the golden star. This is basically Mario. I'm basically playing Mario 64. Find the stars! It's-a me, Adonis! Alright, here we go. Enough of that. See how well shuffled that is? This is why I don't deserve to get all the same cards. All the time. Forever. 1 more card. There we go. What have we got? Oh, another orc. Another... All the worst ones. Well, do you know what made it? You made this mess, so I'm going to assign them all to her, and then Adonis can just kind of leave if he wants to, but I suspect he'll probably just stay and help, because it still kind of is awful. Okay. New cards, please. Show me good combat cards, please. We've got... Oh, Lightning Bolt. Nice. And that one. And Teleportation Portal. And another Teleportation Portal. Shuffled this nonsense. I'm furious at them. Alright. Movement. Force Field. Temporary. You are invulnerable. That sounds good. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but it sounds good. Ooh, and also a teleportation portal. Now I can make 3 teleportation portals, but they only gave me 2 teleportation tokens. So how am I going to make 3 portals with just 2 tokens? Okay. I did not draw as much combat as I would have liked. And the lightning bolt is rubbish against these enemies. This is a huge problem. The lightning bolt's great at killing hordes of tiny enemies, and none of these are tiny enemies. Maybe I can't even run away from them because they'll follow me if I try to leave. I mean, I can run away. I just don't know what I'd be running into. So let's have a think here. What happens if we teleport away? You know, I'm just curious. What happens if we go through a can they follow me through my teleport portal even if I just teleport to the next room? You know, like if I teleport like into the kitchen from here and I'm fighting some guys in the living room, are they going to know to run down the corridor into the kitchen, or will they just stand there looking at the portal like, where'd he go? I mean, you could understand how they might be confused, provided they don't look out the living room door and see me sneaking out down the stairs. Place a portal on your location. All of the heroes can move from one portal to another with one movement action, difficulty 1. The entrant effects of the location apply as normal. Enemies cannot use the portal, even with the pursuit ability. There cannot be more than 6 portals in play. Cool. So we could potentially use that to get out of here. Although, there's some experience points, which is nice. Just saying. We've also got Force Field. You become invulnerable. The hero does not cause the group to lose any vitality except for fear tokens. Enemies the hero is engaged with do not cause the group to lose hit points. The hero does not suffer damage from a location. Okay. So I think my plan here is basically for our man to just make a portal, and then he can leave because they're all fighting Mater. So he can leave and make another portal, and then she can just walk through the portal into the next room. And they'll just be left here like, what's going on? Where'd they go? So, I'm going to start by playing out this portal card. To drop down a portal here. Blam! And now I need 2 movement. So I guess I'll give up Lightning Bolt, because I can't kill anyone here with it anyway. With the Lightning Bolt, I'll just go through this door. So... Man, I wish I could play that song, Heggers. Heggers is playing Soul Man by the Blues Brothers. Soul Man. Yeah, but I can't. I'm not even... Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So, Adonis is just heading through this new door that's appeared in the middle here. I hope that that's the right door. Guys, help me out here. If I'm going through the wrong door like a bozo, let me know. But I think that that's a new door that wasn't there before. I feel like there was the one on the right and the one on the left. And this one taking me to Area 3 is new. So I'm going to go through there, and then he's going to drop a second portal, and then Mater can just, like, dive through the portal like, see ya! Even though the portal actually is just going to take her through this door. The game does actually say in the rulebook, by the way, like, not all doors are adjacent. So, you know, for example, you know, when you came down the stairs here, and you came out here, it's not like, you know, this is the very bottom of that staircase, or whatever. It says imagine that the locations are much bigger, and there's sort of areas in between them, and things like that. They're just inconsequential, so they're not included on the cards. Which is, I guess, a nice way of sort of creating a sense of scope without overburdening everything. So we've got area number 3 coming out now. Oh my god, I don't know what that symbol means. You find yourself in a small, dilapidated room that is pierced by large openings, leading to a much larger room. Okay. So I get ambushed by monsters. 5 of them. And also that. I don't know what that symbol means. I'm going to have to look it up. But if I was invisible, this would have been great. But I can't go invisible because literally every time I try, the bad guy from Pirates of the Caribbean shows up and says I can't. So I guess don't even worry about how that mechanism works anyway. Okay, let's find out what this fun new symbol means. What's going to happen to me now that I'm here? I'm sure it means something good, like the enemies can't see you. Usually those red symbols are good. And they mean that nice things happen. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to be ambushed. I should have become... I was about to say I should have become invulnerable, but... If the location indicated has not yet been revealed, place it on the table. It is considered to be revealed. So if it does not have a lock on it, when moving to this location, it will be flipped to side B. Oh, interesting. Yes, I forgot about that. I actually forgot when you return to a so it hasn't actually come up yet in this playthrough, but if you entirely vacate an area, when you return to it, it is restored on its B side. So, for example, with this area here, when I returned here, if it had not been on the B side, it would have been flipped over to the B side. It always turns onto side B when an area is sort of returned to for the second time. But unless it's got a padlock on it, like we had on this side here. So because this padlock is here, that means that doesn't happen. But fortunately that hasn't come up. I'm just going to give these little ones over here a little stack, because I don't think I'm going back to any of these areas. And so we're going to get... order these in a way that's sensible to myself. Okay, so there's area 1. That's the door he's just come in through. And he's like, hey, what up, people in this area? And he can see into area 4, which is over here. So we get to flip that straight up as well. But area 4 is padlocked, so that doesn't matter. Okay. This room appears to have been renovated recently. The wooden floor creaks underfoot with every step you take. Well, there's a story enemy in there. No, it's... Yeah, and there's a story. Look, there's all kinds of exciting stuff in this room, so that was a good find. But first I must be ambushed by, like, 5 guys. Oh, I'm going to regret giving up that lightning bolt. I bet they're all just tiny goblins. Nope, it's a ghost. Never mind. And a little goblin. And another ghost. And a little goblin. And a giant orc. Oh no! Oh. Oh dear. Okay. So there's no reactions in here, actually. So if I can murder all of these people, which are assigned to Adonis, that's fine. So Adonis is going to create another portal. Boop. And then Mater's just going to give up this card here to just, like, go boop. And because she left this area, all of them are gone. Because they can't follow her through the portal. If she'd used the door, they would have been like, get her! She's in there now! But, you know, they're pretty stupid. So they didn't know what happened. They're still sticking their heads in this thing, trying to figure out how I did that. Oh, this camera's looking somewhere miles away anyway. There you go, you see? Where'd she go? Nobody knows. Shh. Don't make too much noise while you're fighting off all the new enemies. Okay. So. I'm kind of tempted. I know it's, like, pretty cheap, but I'm kind of tempted to go invulnerable with Mater. Or actually, I'm kind of tempted to just... Oh, because she's not got any enemies assigned to her. So I'm kind of tempted to just walk in here and then create another portal so that Adonis can just pop through this portal and come out here and just ignore all of these enemies. I mean, I could probably kill them. I've got 6 right here. I've got 6 here as well. Oh no, it's the math game is back. 8, 12. But the big orcs are annoying. And because they're all engaged with Adonis anyway, Mater can just leave. It's just going to be one enemy that comes out, plus number 5, I guess. Which wouldn't come out if I was invisible. Which is so annoying because I used up all my invisibilities. Hey, Difter, welcome home, buddy. We're just, we're creating a chain link of portals in adjacent rooms to bamboozle enemies who would otherwise follow us. Yeah, I think that's the plan, because this is probably going to spawn a bunch of enemies, but then at least I can use my force field and become invulnerable. So I'm going to give up this combat card to move Mater in here, where she's going to poop out a portal. Now, here's the thing. It says I can have up to 6, but I've only got 2 portal tokens. So I think, in the interests of being fair, I suppose, I'll move this one. Oh, God, but then I might have to go back through this room. Maybe this isn't the best idea. Maybe I should just stay and fight. Nah. I'll move this one over to here. Well, actually, before I do any of that, really, I have to reveal enemy number 2. Maybe he'll be nice and not scary or bad. Hey, it's just a priority gobbo. He's not hard at all. I could almost kill him with my force field card. But I bet he has an army of goblins or something. What's story number 5 then? Oh, they all see you show up and they're mad at you. A goblin hides in one corner of the room. With an evil laugh, he pulls a rope. It activates a device and the gaping maw of a giant trapdoor opens up beneath your feet. Oh, God. You jump out of the way and remain in this location. Otherwise, you fall in. Move your hero to location number 5. Take 5 damage. Discard this card. Oh, no. Well, that's really borked up my plan. Goblin trap? How dare you? Should have saved my invisibility for when there wasn't, like, hordes of random enemies. Hang on. Blah! There was a whole pit there the whole time. Oh, you still have to pay the entry fee. It occurs to me that actually... did I take damage for the ambush on Adonis? I don't think I did. I didn't, did I? I think I got so excited putting out the card. I signed all these people to Adonis, and then I didn't take damage for the ambush, did I? Oh. Because that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would have been 12. um, yeah, I don't think I did that. I definitely didn't take 12 damage at any point. Hang on. So actually, that's 8. That puts me on 26. And I take 1 exhaustion. Uh-oh. This is not good. So the question is, I can spend both of these cards to... By the way, this talking bonus has been super useful. I just want to say how glad I am that Mater's got this talking bonus, because otherwise, I might have gotten into some really sticky situations. So I can give up both of these cards to avoid the trap. I should have used the invulnerability. Saving it is stupid. But if I give up both of these cards to avoid the trap, I haven't been to place 5 yet, have I? Oh, I have. Oh, that's kind of okay. It's not great. The problem is I'm going to leave Adonis in that room, and he's going to take a shitload more damage. Oh, no, he's not. I know how to get around it. No, I don't. Because I need 5 movement. Oh, this is a catastrophe. I have overreached, and now I'm in trouble. It's true. I don't think. I don't think I have anything good here that I can do to avoid. I mean, I want to avoid taking all the damage because this suddenly got really serious. I'm also going to have to spawn a bunch of enemies, though, which is also really bad. Oh, I should have played this safer. Okay, well, I'm going to take 1 alert anyway for flipping over to the B side there. I'm going to set off another alarm as well. But that's not the least of my troubles, although it will escalate this, so everything is coming up peaches. I need to kill this alarm gobbo. If I go down the pit, I'm going to wind up back here. Y'all remember that? And then it's like such a long walk back to here. But my thought was that... Oh no, that's actually not a terrible idea. Actually, that could get me out of some trouble. I wish I'd used the force field earlier, though. And now I think I'm not even going to use it because it's single use, and I haven't used it yet. I'm probably never going to see it again. But, unfortunately, I think I have to resolve this card before I just throw this out there. Can I interrupt resolving this card to use my invulnerable, do you think? Do you think... I don't think they're going to actually specify. Timing of spells. Temporary. The spells are cast automatically, as the only requirement is to have 1 in your action cards. The effect applies immediately and lasts until the next preparation phase. Yeah, but it doesn't actually say, can you play a card while resolving a story card. It feels a bit cheap to me, but maybe that's the intention? I actually have no idea. So, I don't know is the answer, so I'm probably just going to take the damage, because that feels less cheesy if it's not the way the game's intended to be played. Unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't say anywhere that I can see. Timing of actions. No. You cannot combine. Yeah, on the. Yeah. No. Sorry, guys. I know this is really dull. So I do apologize. I think this would be really important, but unfortunately I don't have an answer. Hopefully they'll provide an answer about exactly when these things can be triggered in the final rulebook. But it doesn't say when I can cast a spell precisely. In terms of, can I cast it while resolving a story card, basically. I think, actually, that you can. And the reason I think you can is because it's way cooler if the wizard's like, whoa, a trap! I cast invulnerability. So I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. But take a note, this could be wrong. But I'm going to cast the force field. So that's going to remain in play until the next round. And then I fall into the pit. So I take 5 damage from that. But I avoid it because of my force field. And now I'm done here. But my final action is going to be to play the teleportation portal and move this one from here into the pit with me. So at least now, next turn, I can use that portal over here in the pit with me to portal back up to where Adonis is. And also, this is a... Oh no, he only has 4 though. Ah, damn it, I thought I was so clever. I only have 1 experience point. Thought I was being super clever. My plan was for Adonis to also flee through the portal, but it's a movement action, so it's going to have a challenge rating to flee. He's going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's only got 4. Damn it, Adonis, why aren't you better at running away? Yeah. So I don't think there's a whole lot he can do. So I'm just going to play the combat card to kill off 2 goblins. And I'm going to take another big hit next turn. Ouch. Okay. Well, that was a bad round, but we're going to make up for it this round. I don't know. This guy, I think he just goes back into the deck now because I left and I didn't kill him. So maybe he'll come back. We don't know. Discard this card, right? That one's done. Get out of here, that card. Alright. So we're going to start with stress. Stress is still 2, but only just. You take 2 stress, and then enemies are going to attack, and that's going to be 8, which sucks. So it's 4 shields, times 2 for the rage. Oh, these guys would have followed me anyway. Oh no, they wouldn't have. Everyone would have followed me, but not through the portal. Because they don't know how to do that. Anyway, 8 damage. What am I on? I'm on 24. So I go down to 30, to 16. Oh, ouch. Okay. And then there's no reactions. So we dropped 3 cards and carry on with our lives. And in the preparation phase, that goes away from the game. I don't know if it was smart to use that to save 5 damage, but... you know, what you gonna do? Okay. Adonis is getting shuffled. Well, oh, why has he got a monster card in there? Did I put some monster cards? When did I kill these guys and discard them on his hero board? Was that just now? I think that was just now. Okie dokie. That'll do it, right? That's gotta do it. Here we go. Give me combat. No, these are dreadful. Alright, well, it's all on you now, Maida. It's all just movement. Just coming up with a plan here. See if I can do something clever to move around this board with Adonis here. Maybe do something clever with portals. You know? This game's got me thinking with portals, guys. Thinking with portals. Only there was a nice slippery way for me to get away from my enemies. Alright. Let's see what Maida's got going on. Show me some good cards here, Maida. 1, 2. All combat. Okay. Well then I guess you should come and help me murder. Okay. So... let's have a think here. We might just spend our turn killing these guys, actually. So... yeah, I think Maida's just going to come up and kill them because she's got all the combats. So we'll give up this movement card to move through the portal and out here to where our friend Adonis is fighting lots of enemies. And then we've got a total... well, we're going to need to do 2 combat actions to kill these guys anyway. So I've got 6 there. And I've got 3 plus 1 per action card. So that's 11 in total. So I could spend all of my cards to wound the orc and take out one of the ghosts. I could give up all of Adonis's cards just to finish them off. But I also don't think he can do anything particularly useful at this stage anyway, so I might just do that. As much as I would like to use this portal card or hold on to it for later, I mean, I suppose I could take one more hit. Yeah, actually, I might save the portal card just in case. That could be really handy later on. So I'll give up these 2. To kill off the orc. Gain 1 experience point. Which I could spend these both to draw another card, but I'm planning to stay in this room anyway. Because there's no reaction on it, and I don't see any advantage to moving on at this stage anyway now. So this, we're going into reactions phase. I'm going to take 2 more of these. And then this guy's going to hit me for 1 more, and that's that. And then we're back to cards. Okay. All the movement. Wow, she's going miles away. Well, this card's good against a bunch of enemies. So I might just give up this movement card. Why have you got the portal, though? Thing is, when I go in there, I'm going to increase threat. I'm going to have to go in here, though, because I need to go up these stairs, I think. I think that's the next stage. The cake is a library. I've searched almost this whole fortress, and I haven't found any cake. But I think if I go up these stairs... I think this is the next sort of step in my journey here to go up those stairs here to Area 6. But... I mean, you can actually line these up in kind of a nice way. There we go. The art is contiguous. But because this is already on its B side, and there's no heroes in it, when I go in there, I'm going to create one more alarm, which is going to raise the threat level. And also, I will spawn 6 monsters. But I need to find that golden star, or else this whole thing is kind of pointless. So, do you know what? I don't think I'm going to actually get to level up our man again here. I need at least 5 things to level him up. So, let's spend these 2 to draw an additional card and see what we get. Hopefully some combat card that's useful. Teleport! Move to any revealed location of your choice. Enemies don't follow. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to try and do something screwy with portals again to try and get around all these enemies and get a move on. So we're going to start with Mater. She's going to need a lot of movement. I covered up the movement trying to make the art look nice. It's actually just 1 to get through here. But I'm trying to make the best use of the cards I have, and all I have are movement cards. Damn it. So, what is my least good movement card? Let's see, that's 5. I'm spawning 6 enemies. I'm going to need 11 to get up those stairs, which is... But I'm still going to need a movement at the end of it as well. I'm going to need 1 more card. I don't have enough. But it's only 2 to go down the pit. So 2 to get away from the pit would be... So provided I don't spawn any ghosts, that would be okay. Okay, here's the plan. We'll see if it works out okay. I'm gonna drop this one to go in here. Just gonna raise the threat, and that spawns 6 enemies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we got? Okay. Oh, that means I can't flee. Oh, this just got complicated. Priority target gobbo. Another threat. That's bad. Another threat. This is why I'm panicking, because that's almost done. If I'm still in there at the end of the round, I think I've basically lost this. Oh god, I don't think I can get away from all these guys. But also, I have less enemies on my back than I thought I would. That's 4. So I need 9 movement to get up the stairs. I still don't have enough, though, to get up the stairs and do anything else. Thing is, they're all assigned to Mater. I don't know why I'm obsessed with going up the stairs. Necessarily. Oh, these guardians and this guy, they all suck. Why couldn't it be a bunch of guys I could run away from, damn it? Makes me wish I'd gone in there with Adonis, actually. But I think we'll have to rethink our plan. See, my plan, which was going to be clever, was while Mater was distracting these people, Adonis could run past her up the stairs. And then he could, he could drop a portal somewhere up the stairs, and then she could jump down the pit, getting away from the enemies because it's this green arrow. And then he could, if he was in trouble up here, he could just teleport to her, and we could hide in the pit and come back out the portal next turn to discover what was going on. It was a good plan. It was a good plan. But I don't think it's going to hold up. Pretty sure Guardian means you can't flee at all. Yeah, you cannot flee until the enemy is disengaged. I actually might have broken that rule earlier, but I'm not sure if I did. If I did, I apologize. I forgot about it a little bit. Okay. So I think the new plan is we just have to kill these guys. Why can't we run away? It's our main move, Difter. Exactly. Bravely run away. We're soul robins. Yeah, this portcullis symbol means we can't run away. And this symbol here means that even if I did run away, the enemy would pursue me. So, but I think in the interests of saving our friend, we'll give up the teleport card here to just teleport to her, and because I blink, even though I'm blinking literally just into the same room, this ghost loses me. Even though he's got Pursuer, he can't follow me with teleport, so bloop. And then we'll help her out with a combat action. It's 5 plus 1 per enemy, so it's 7 damage. So we have to kill that one first, leaving us with 5. We need 9 more if we want to kill them all, though. I really hate that I'm going to set this off. I mean, unless I can keep this. Let me think here. So if I throw in the teleportation portal, that's 9, 12. I've got 12. I have to kill him. I'm left with 10, which kills them all. That can't be right. 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, yeah. 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay, so I give up these 2 and kill them all. And then I think we just run up the stairs so that we don't create... I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. What does this little bell mean again? I think it means I increase the... I just increased the alert level. But that could be the same thing on the next time. I mean, it could be the same thing upstairs anyway, and then I'm just standing around doing nothing for no reason. And I'm under pressure. I wanted to succeed. Alert. Yeah, if at least one enemy in the location is, the alert is given an increased threat by 1. Oh, interesting. So they're all dead now. So the cost now is simply that we... Okay, so here's the plan. I think we wait then. The alert's only rung if there's an enemy alive, which I didn't know, but now I do. So if I hold on to this card and this card, and then we go into the final phase, I lose 3 of these, which sucks. 15, 14, I'm on 13, so I go down to 10. That's, discard that. Yeah, and then we get new cards. Just trying to decide if I should want to keep this portal, maybe. Because this could be useful to, like, warp back to here in case I need to get there. Or do I want to just get combat cards? Why would I need to come back here? I don't think I need to go back there. Oh, come on. Alright, we got 1. Man, exhaustion sucks. Come on, guys. You're supposed to be soul raiders. Do some cardio. Alright. So, let's start with Mater. 6 up the stairs. Okay. You hear voices coming from a balcony close at hand, but the wraith who drew you to this place is here and strikes. Okay, so coming up the stairs, we've got 2 story enemies and the thing. It's fine. This is fine. Or, I forgot we were chasing a wraith, actually. It's probably because I don't really know what that is. I presume it's those blue guys that have been showing up in the random enemy deck. Okay, so we set off this, so that takes up 1 more space. And now we're going to get enemy number 2. Coming back, it's our friend the Goblin, who's a priority target. We already saw him. It's the annoying guy that set off the alarm. Tried to trap me, and I fell in a hole. And enemy number... Look at all these enemies! Are they just here to trick me? Or is there, like, so much more to this that I just didn't discover? Look at all these story cards as well. There's so many story cards. Blam! Okay, so it's a wraith. He's 7. He's kind of spooky, scary. He's like, I'm gonna get you! If you want to see him with the full art. There we go. Okay, and they're engaged with Mater. Yeah, and there's no other way down from here, so I don't really know what else I'm going to do from here otherwise. Or am I expected to get out of here? Well, in any case, that's that. So, I guess Mater's going to give up this card here and kill the Goblin, because I have to. He's a priority target. And that's 6. I get 3. I can make it up to 9, but that's not enough to kill them both by 1, because it's 7 and 3. Damn it. Damn it! So we kill off the priority Goblin. He's murdered. Gone from the game. We get 1 experience point. Yes! And also, story card number 4. As you throw the Goblin off the balcony, a million friends come running back up. After defeating the Goblin, you discover he was carrying a flask. The label indicates that it's an antidote. Discard this potion at any time to clear all of the poison tokens from your hero board. Exchangeable. You may give this card to another hero who is also in your location. Keep this card until used, then discard it. Yeah, fine. Okay, and then we're going to give up this one for 5 for our man to come running up here. And I think we're going to give up both of these, which is 6 and... It's so annoying that it's 6. 6 and 4, that's 10. Kill off the Wraith. Blah, he's also dead now. We get 1 experience point. And I guess with nothing left to do, Mater will give this up to activate the area action here, which is take a look at the decaying balcony. I don't know if that's going to help me at all because I've now run out of actions, but you never know. It might. This is so close to ending here. I'm so worried. You spy 2 figures in the decrepit balcony. A repulsive creature... Come on, camera. Be cool. You spy 2 figures on the decrepit balcony. A repulsive creature with tentacles and a man whose face is hidden behind a bronze mask. You lock eyes with the man, which sends an icy chill down your spine. You realize you've fallen into his trap. Get 2 experience points. And then flip over to 6B. And I've got another silver star. Whoa. Whoa. If you have 8, draw 9. Otherwise, draw 10. Uh-oh. So many enemies are going to be coming running up here. Uh-oh. Um, 2 experience points, though. I could draw 1 more card. Alright, so we've got enemies 8 and 9 showing up. That's... Oh, enemy 8 is dead. Nope, he's not dead. Where's enemy 8? 2... Why can't I find card number 8, 3, 6, 7, 9? I don't have an enemy 8. Is that the goblin? No, he's 2... Oh, no, I'm looking at the story deck. What an idiot. Ooh. Okay, here we go. 8 and 9. One of you needs to be the final boss, because I ain't got time to find anyone else. Here's enemy number 8. I'm Tentacle Man, and I have Guardian, and also... Oh, I'm really tough. And who's your friend? Oh, I'm another Tentacle Man, and I cancel all magic, and I'm also a jerk. Oh, God. I don't think I can kill these people. They're too tough. Right, this guy is a huge problem. And because I have draw card 8, I'm going to draw card 9. Story card 9. Right. Is that how I got confused? Here we go. Oh. The man in the bronze mask has caught you spying on him. He speaks in a confident tone. Curiosity is a terrible vice, isn't it? It was child's play to lure you here. Oh, you certainly put up a fight, but it was of little consequence. My master needs test subjects for a new experiment, and I think you'd make a fine specimen. Ha 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 ha! Oh. But where's my golden achievement? Do I just have to kill this guy? Maybe I just have to kill this guy. Get out of here, that card. Okay. So I need to do... he has a final boss kind of vibe to him. Maybe... And I get a story thing if I kill him. I probably still have to survive, though. Probably get punished if I don't survive. This is my biggest problem here. I mean, they're going to spawn 7 enemies. No, 5. Okay, 5 is okay. Oh, but I'm going to take 4 damage from... Hang on. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage from here. What am I on? 10. Okay. Basically, ideally, I need to do some damage to these people, because otherwise I'm going to take 8 damage and then another 4 stress damage. That's going to put me down here, and I'm going to have like no cards left. So I'm going to spend these 2, right? How many cards do you have made it in your level up? Too many. I can't buy one. This is a great spell. I wish I'd bought this. I don't know if I'm supposed to have all these cards, but that would have been so helpful. Here's 2 cards. Please be a good combat card. It's not the worst thing. Has it solved my problem? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. God damn it. I'm 1 off solving my problem. Oh, dear. Well, I'll play it anyway, which means we can do 1 wound to one of our guys here. So we're going to put this out here on our evil wizard man. Ugh, rage. He's tough, this guy. You guys can't see that. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. This rage is my problem on the tentacle bronze mask man, because he's duplicating all the damage. 4 more combat points, and I could have at least had 1 more turn at a higher exhaustion. As it stands, this is going to be extremely tight. We might be in big trouble. We might just pull it off. But if this isn't the final sort of hurrah, then we're definitely in big trouble. Okay. So that's I'm all out of stuff to do, so we go into the reaction round, where this is going to drop down to 6. We activate all of our business down here, but we don't have any. And then enemies attack, which are these guys. They're going to do 6 damage. Bam! Bam. Oof. That sucks. Okay, and then location reactions. This one ticks this up. So we literally are so close to the end here. And then this spawns 5 enemies. Oh, let them be tiny little goblins, an army of tiny things that I can kill. They're all tiny little goblins because all the hard guys came up at once before. Yes, it's true, but a lot of them are priority targets. So let me have a lightning spell, please, please. I'm only going to get 2 cards. This sucks. Ah! This is so clutch right now. Oh my god. We might have a chance if Mater gets some good combat. No, it's good. It's movement. Okay, so the problem is we've got 4 priority targets. So even though we've got this one that's +1 damage per enemy, even if I used it, it wouldn't really be all that useful with all these priority targets on the table. So these little goblins here, they're just like get up in your face, and they've got that symbol in the top left that means you have to kill them first before anything else. We might as well assign... Oh, can we assign these to... Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter who I assign these to, because I have to kill them all. I mean, I could assign these to Adonis, and then potentially just ignore them, I suppose? Okay, well, actually, yeah, let's do that and see what happens, because we can lightning them later. I'm actually now just checking the rules for lightning real quick. If you remember, I wasn't quite sure if, like, all the enemies... Yep. Instant. Immediate effect. So... Because what I'm curious about is, do I get to use the 3? Could I, like, do a combat and also use the lightning bolt? Or not. And I'm not entirely sure. They are... Yeah, I think you play them and you get the bottom effect. I don't think it's like the other cards where the effect at the bottom is a bonus. But there might be some more information about it at the start of the manual, so just bear with me 2 seconds while I look it up. I'm apologizing for being slow. Yeah, okay, so I think you have to choose. Because most of the cards have a bonus on the bottom that just triggers if it's pertinent. Like, you know, this one, for example, the bottom part triggers if you use it for combat because it's a combat in the middle. Whereas because this is a spell in the middle, I think you have to choose to use it either for the spell on the bottom or just the number on the top. I think that's how it works. But I could be wrong. You might be able to use the number as well. Not 100% sure. But that lightning bolt is so clutch because I can literally just discard it to kill every single one of these enemies. But I don't know if that's really going to help me. Because I don't think... Because I'm still probably not going to be able to kill... I mean, I can kill the squid guy. I don't know if I'm going to have enough power to kill this guy. And if I don't get another lightning bolt, loads of enemies are just going to continue to run up here, cause me problems. So let's have a look here. This is 3 plus 1 per enemy, which isn't really helpful. This is 3 as well. Yeah. Well, clutch lightning bolt. Maybe not as helpful as it could have been. Because this guy's so tough. 10-10, he's so tough. And I only draw 2 cards. Oh, it's such a problem. Alright, well. I don't know if there's much else I can do, so I might as well play this. Do you know what? I'm kind of not worried about their... Oh, but the priority target thing. But I'm kind of not really worried about their damage. But I guess if Adonis is engaged with all these enemies, he can't come over and help Mater with her enemies. So I guess, yeah, we'll give this up to kill all of these guys. But I'm going to get 5 worse ones in a minute. Or if I draw another one of those alerts, the game is over. I'm not even going to get one more turn. Because now I've got this 5 damage here, and she's got the ability to do 8 damage, which isn't even enough to scratch this guy. So I need... The thing is, whoever kills this guy is going to gain 2 experience points, and could potentially draw another card. But I'd need to draw some kind of... I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up to 10 without with only 2 cards in hand. It seems like really problematic for me at this stage to do that. Oof. This would have been a good time to be invisible. Pretty much every time except the 2 times I picked would have been good times to be invisible. So, what I'm thinking is I can kill this guy with Maida, and then she can potentially draw another card. And I hope it's something good that I can combo with this. Or I can kill this guy, and then... But these are useless on their own. So yeah, I think this is the right choice. So if I discard this card, which is worth 5, kill this guy, I get 2 experience points, I draw 1 more card, and hopefully it's something I can... Or maybe I just keep them. Maybe I keep the 2 experience points, and I store this card for next turn, and then I just hope that I get 1 more turn and I can kill this guy, focus him down, and I don't draw a lot more goblins. I'm not going to get another lightning. Oh, this is super clutch final decision. It's probably going to be my last decision of the game, because otherwise I shall go to defeat. Horrible defeat. I don't want to do it. See, they can't help each other out with combat actions. Adonis can fight the enemies engaged with Mater, but they can't combine their cards. Which, you know, you would have thought that they could, but I guess Soul Raiders don't work together in a team like, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie where people... Like Gimli and Legolas. Actually, they didn't really work together as a team either. They kind of just worked independently at the same time. Yeah, because I'm thinking if I keep the experience points, then I get 1 more card next. Yeah, okay. We gotta just hope that whatever comes out here... I'm gonna need another turn anyway. So whatever comes out here just can't be that bad. So we kill off the Squid Man. He's dead. And the Squid Wizard. Now it's just this nasty guy. And I kill it off using that card. I'm not gonna keep this one. But I can't do anything useful with it either. I get 2 experience points. And I'm going to save that card on Adonis. That's the end of the round. This is going to be my last round if I even get to play it. If I draw one alert card from in here, I'm done. So this ticks up by 1. No, first thing that happens is stress. So we lose 4 health, go down to 26. I'm not too worried about dying this way. What is this 2 card? This never even came up. Right, and so then yeah, stress, and then these tokens, there's none. So then damage from enemies is 4 to go down to 22. Oh, this is tense. Alright, come on. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. No, wait, do I have one more? No, I don't think I have one more. I think that's it, right? I said if I drew one more, it would be done. Alright, well, let's have a quick look here. 2, 3. Okay, 2 of the really tough illithids as well. This is not the end of the world unless I just lost the game. Which I might have done, actually. No, maybe I do have one more threat then. Unless I forgot to move it. I think... I'm not sure if I had 2 more threat or... Oh, God, I can just go further back. Hang on. Sorry, I'm now reviewing my own stream. Yeah, there's no way. I think that's it. I think this goes up to here. And I think that triggers the end. So a quick look exactly when that triggers. No, that's it. End of game. That card pushed me into the end zone. And that's checked right at the end of the round. Oh, God damn it. Let me just see. If this card hadn't come out, if I'd had another enemy, could I have done it? Two. I don't think I could have done it. That's not even near good enough. 1, 2. She spends these to draw 2 more. A teleportation portal. What use is that? So, yeah, he can't hurt this man. And if she uses all of these, she's got 3, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yeah, so she could have put 1 damage on him. But Adonis could only do 7. Damn. So, we needed a few more turns, I think. This is the summer of not having good luck. The ties that bind your wrists and ankles cut into your flesh. The post you have been lashed to digs into your back. 2 monsters are carrying you. With each jolt, a wave of splinters is driven into your skin. They're going down a staircase that seems like it will never end. Since the beginning of this adventure, everything seems to have emerged from a dream. Forest, fortress, goblins, but nothing has ever felt so real as the excruciating pain of defeat that grips your heart. You have no way of warning the others. You won't be able to save anyone. This horde of creatures will soon be unleashed upon the world, and you are unable to do anything to stop them. Hold on a minute. No, not you. That's what's wrong here. This didn't happen to you. And at that moment, apprentice, you awaken. You may start this chapter again with a hero of your choice. The memory of your previous attempt, still fresh in your mind, will be interpreted as your hero's intuition. You must not keep anything from this round. Well. Yeah, that was very close. It was very close indeed. Yeah, it was all a dream. Exactly. We woke up and now we're back to life again. How long did this actually take to play? I mean, I took a little break in the middle, so it's about 3 hours, but I was explaining a lot of the rules as I went. But I reckon it's probably shorter than your standard chapter of, this game. I'm just sitting here collating my thoughts, thinking about how did I feel about this? How did I feel about this experience? I mean, inherently, I enjoy the fantasy daring do setting. This is just let me there's something funny about I noticed this about fantasy board games. Like, quite often you start as like some kind of incredible hero. I was having a think the other day about like what fantasy board game do you start out where you're like just like some random farmer, you know? I was thinking back to like Baldur's Gate, the video game, and you're just like the apprentice and candlekeep or whatever, and you have to like work all your way up across the 3 games, the third being Throne of Baal. The plot doesn't continue into Baldur's Gate 3, I don't think, in the sense that at least in the sense that you're the same character. But I was thinking, it's like this, you start off as like the Soul Raider, and you're already some kind of major warrior wizard. Mage Knight, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, Gloomhaven, you still feel very, very powerful when you set out. In Sword and Sorcery, you're like a resurrected warrior. The only thing I could sort of think of was Kingdom Death Monster, where you start off as one of those like little, you're just like one of the damned or whatever, and you have to work your way up from nothing. So it was just kind of interesting to me, like, how in all of these sort of RPGs, and I would have thought that this kind of setting would have lent itself, or this kind of format would have lent itself better to the sort of the hero's journey rather than this sort of power fantasy. But having said that, I mean, that's not a criticism, it's just more of an observation, really. I suppose with board games, there's just a sort of a sense of urgency to get into the gameplay more quickly, so you don't really want to do the beginning of the story where you're like the farmhand or whatever. But I think that overall I quite enjoyed this. It's not particularly complex, which is fine. I think that I do wonder if 41 randomized enemy cards is going to be enough to keep you going through a 30-hour thing. I mean, we played for 2.5 hours and we saw the whole deck, although I don't know if they gave me all the monsters. I don't think they did. So we had about 30 monsters here. So there'll be another 10. Not a lot of text, but that's okay. It does a lot with the art. The art's really nice. I like how the art comes alive. I like the I like the I like the I like the threat escalation mechanic much more than I like the hit point track. I like the hit point track in the sense of the communal hit points. I even like the sort of exhaustion ticker. I just don't like the less cards in hand. Like going from 4 to 3 felt bad, but going down to 2 felt... It almost felt like a foregone conclusion. Although it did happen right at the end in the boss fight, so... But I suppose if I was replaying it and I went down to 2 before I even got to this guy, I'd just be like, okay, well that's game. Well, I mean, Difter, that's exactly right when I was talking about that sort of development. Because obviously in something like Kingdom Death Monster, it's a really long game, you know? It's super duper long. And Layla says, I quite like Folklore the Affliction for that noob to overpowerment hero progression. I haven't tried Folklore the Affliction, Layla. It's sort of always piqued my curiosity, but I never got to play it. I mean, in a world where there's a lot of Gloomhavens and sort of sword and sorceries and altar quests, I do like how accessible this is. I feel like I could play this, like, I think the only thing that that my partner wouldn't like about this game is the math. Combat maths is a bit of a pain. If you're good at mental arithmetic, it's not going to be an issue, but it's also not fun, you know. But I like that the enemy mechanisms, I like that there aren't too many of them, but they still feel reasonably unique. I like the hidden story deck, of course. I like the hidden enemy deck. I like that I didn't see this event, which is promising because, you know, it's sort of like... There's still a bunch of stuff here I didn't see in either of those two decks. I don't know if they're in this prototype, but... you know, I'm sort of tempted to have another go at this and see if I can beat it. So I think that's a good sign. I think overall that's a positive sign. I also think, like, I think the miniatures are wholly unnecessary. This is where my inherent hypocrisy comes out, because I think the miniatures feel wholly unnecessary for this game, and quite frankly, I think that the difference of 30 quid in price for the miniatures, I think that this is, I think for sort of 60 quid or 70 euros, this, for 3 chapters of this, that's pretty good. I feel like that's good, and they've got these great artists who bring a lot to life with the art. On the other hand, if I were to buy it, I'd probably get the deluxe edition, because I like the magnetic box and the tuck boxes, and also miniatures. So there's my inherent hypocrisy. I'm not sure if it's worth it at the deluxe price, but I'll probably buy that. I don't mind I quite like the leveling up mechanic. Yeah, I don't mind it. Overall, yeah, I like, it seems to do a lot. I think the mechanisms with the rooms are a little funky. Like, you've got to remember that, it stays on its A side if it's padlocked until something reveals the B side. That's great. I love that. However, if a hero goes into an A side, you've got to remember that if all the heroes leave again, then it flips over to its B side, or the next time someone comes in, it flips over to its B side. I think actually it's the next time someone comes in. So, yeah. Yeah, but I'm tempted to play it again. The artwork looks cool. Do you guys have any questions about this game that I might be able to answer? While you've got me here, so I'm just sort of thinking, like, it seems perfectly pleasant. The rules overhead is relatively low. But I also think it's exactly the kind of thing that I quite like. Um, it feels quite Gloomhaven-y, but much, much lighter because you don't have any of the on-board problem solving. You're not worrying about the AI. The enemies don't have behavior decks or anything like that. They don't even have behaviors, really. It just creates the kind of impression of behaviors. But really, it feels more like feels like one of those like one of those sort of Shadows of Moria games or something, where you're like just hack and slashing your way through waves of enemies, and it's not like one sort of enemy really. It's just a relentless force. Um, and so it did a lot with very little, which was cool. Um, and I liked that. I don't. I'm slightly concerned it's not robust enough to remain interesting over the course of 3 chapters, let alone the possibility of sort of failing and then repeating a chapter again, especially if you fail right at the end, like I did, maybe did here. I don't actually know. Maybe I kill that guy and then there's a whole nother part. Um, but I mean, you can level up the deck, which is nice and good. I don't know if I necessarily understand the inclusion of this invisibility mechanism, because it seems really important to go invisible at the right time and then use that intelligently. And I kept seeing all these problems I could have solved with it, but also it seems like it can quite arbitrarily just be taken away from you by these guys. And that's a bit frustrating. That felt a little bit like, here's this one really powerful ability, use it wisely, um, but there's also all these unpredictable effects that you can't really know. But then again, when I was doing the sort of the messing around with the portals and the teleportation ability, which didn't pan out in the end, that did feel like sort of fun puzzle solving stuff. Lasso says, I'm very curious how you feel about the replay. Does it feel exciting or just a rush through the chapter? Well, Lasso, I haven't done it before. So I've only done the one playthrough. So we've got 26 days left on the campaign. So if you guys want, I'll come back and try this again on stream, and then we can talk about whether or not it was still exciting. You'll have 4 characters in the box, but of course, if you've started with 2 characters and you're replaying chapter 2 or 3, you will not be able to change them. Whereas if you're replaying chapter 1, you could swap out one or both characters if you're playing a 2-player game or 2-handed. Whereas if you're playing... The other thing is I actually had enough silver medals for a 3-player game. I just didn't have the gold medal. And quite frankly, I think these 2 were fairly easy to get. Yeah, I'd say my initial thought is yes, there does seem to be some replayability here. I am keen to try again, and now that I know more about the layout of this chapter, I feel like I can use my invisibility much more intelligently to solve some problems I had this time. However, that's my initial thought, and it might, as you say, just feel like a bit like, okay, now I'm just running the numbers. So I'm gonna be, but I'd be keen to try it again. I probably will play it again before I decide whether or not I'm gonna back it. So if you guys want that on stream, let me know in the comments below, and we will get that done before the campaign ends. Especially seeing as now I know how to play. But yeah, I think the art is good. The areas look good. I think it's kind of bizarre the way there's no enemies on the board, and yet you might have miniatures running around. That seems a little bit peculiar, but I mean, it's fine. Like, you could quite possibly draw on literally any CMON game to make stand-ins for these guys, or just don't worry about it. Yeah, I think, Layla, if it held up to a second play, then that would make me much more inclined to back it. And if it was still as satisfying. I enjoyed how close this was. Like I said, I think I was pretty much one turn off. Although, having said that, I think I was only able to get this damage down on him because I had the 2 experience points. So I don't know, it might have been the case that I just would have... Nope, she could have hit him next turn and killed him. So, actually... What have I got here? 5, 6, 7... We could have killed one of these guys, and then we would have taken 4, 5, 6 damage. Which would have brought us... Yeah, so we would have actually won next turn if it wasn't for this threat meter. This is what killed us in the end. And ticking up to the top here. And then I would have ticked up one more threat here. I would have had another 5 enemies come out as well, though, which possibly would have meant more of these cards, so that's probably a good few threat ahead of where I needed to be. Which is funny, actually, because I felt like I managed the threat meter really well. Like, not letting it get too high. Maybe I dicked around in this room too much. I don't know. Layla says, I have so much arriving over the next 2 years, it would take something quite special for me to back. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a definite bias from me in this instance because this is the kind of stuff I really, really enjoy. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love also Euro games and all other kinds of board games. But I definitely have a soft spot for storytelling, narrative, fantasy, adventure stuff. And it's also something that I can play with my partner. She really likes it, whereas she doesn't have a lot of patience for, like, Brass Birmingham, for example, which is a game that I love, and I would play all the time with her if she would play it, but she wouldn't, you know, which is fine. Like, so I think, you know, it depends. I mean, the first question I think you're going to ask yourself if you're thinking about backing this is, would you enjoy playing it on your own, or do you have someone you would play it with, you know? And I probably wouldn't play this on my own, because I barely play anything on my own. But I would probably play this with my partner, so that makes it tempting to me. In a way that it might not be otherwise. Although I think it's quite accessible, which is nice. Like, it's not really got a lot of setup. I don't see it having a lot of teardown. Especially as most of the decks are going to be sort of based in chapters. So that's nice, you know. I think these chapter cards are... It's kind of annoying that they don't have an order or a way you set them up. I almost kind of wish there were arrows indicating where they should be placed around each other. And then it literally says late in the rulebook, if you've got a bunch of areas where you're not going to go anymore, just put them in a pile somewhere. And don't worry about it, only get them back out if you need to. But, you know, it's not a deal breaker. But, yeah, it's certainly got, I think, yeah, it does a lot more. It does a lot with not very much, which is nice. But like I said, 30 hours worth of content. Let's play it one more time and see what we think. See if it's still entertaining. If I can play it through twice without even leveling up any of my characters, and it's still good, then it'll probably last 30 hours. Probably. But overall, first impressions are quite positive. Yeah. Quite cool. I want to know what happens. I want to know what happens if I kill this dude. So I want to see that victory text. So, anyway, that's the end of the stream. But, thanks so much everybody who's here and watching the stream and for hanging out. And I've really enjoyed playing this game with you guys today. And I'll probably be back tomorrow with Chris for Gloomhaven, I think. Which could be exciting because we've got to replay that scenario that we failed at last week. I mean, no spoilers, no spoilers. But I won't be back on the weekend because I'm going away. But I'm going to try and do one maybe on Monday or Tuesday because I'm off work. So we'll probably have a look and see what the Patreons voted for, and maybe do one of those. That would be fun. But thanks everyone so much for hanging out. It's been an absolute blast. And remember, yeah, if you want to see that part 2, I mean, there's lots of likes on the video, so that's good. So we'll probably do it, but it wouldn't hurt to leave another like or a comment down below and let me know that you'd like to see that. And have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. I'll probably see you tomorrow. If Chris isn't here, maybe I'll do something on my own. We shall see. But that's it for our adventures. What did they call this world? That was one thing. One thing before I go. Why can't they have more memorable names? Kyvros. It's Kyvros. And also, where are the names on the cards? I like that it's very artsy, but also none of these things have any names. Well, actually, I don't even mind that they don't have names necessarily. What's annoying though is they're like, oh, it's the Wraith, and like I'm expected to know that. But that's okay. Maybe I'll learn over time. Maybe there'll be more text in the actual game. They just didn't put it in the prototype or prologue. But anyway, see you all in the next stream. I'll be back for more board games soon. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of the week. Thanks for watching.